and McHale. And also, Jay should not be able to take it to the basket as easily as he did last year for the same reason. When he gets by Max, if he gets by Max, McHale and Parrish, hopefully, will be waiting for him.
Jones inside. The flip hook won't go. Maxwell with the rebound. Tiny Archibald to push it up, and we'll set the matchups for you as soon as we can. Parrish, the pull-up pop. Hits! Robert Parrish, the first 2 points tonight. Celtics out on top, 2-0. Archibald on Cheeks. Bird on Caldwell Jones. Wide open from 16 and hits. Caldwell Jones can't shoot the basketball, Bob. He just doesn't put it up that often.
Well, they're going to give him that shot, and I think it's a good percentage move. He won't hit it with that kind of consistency. Dawkins will also give Parrish that outside shot. And if he hasn't learned not to yet, I think Robert's going to give him another lesson tonight.
Dawkins the rebound off the Maxwell miss. Max matched up on Dr. J. Chris Ford on Lionel Hollins, and Parrish on Dawkins. Hollins with the ball now. He pulls up with it. Air ball. Maxwell with a second rebound. The Tiny in the middle. Celtics will push it up, looking to run, as they always do. T in the lane. Larry in the corner. A couple fakes. Finally puts it up, and Dawkins the rebound. Larry had that shot initially. He gave it a couple of fakes, and he has not been successful in faking Caldwell Jones. Caldwell's 7 feet. He just doesn't go for it. Blocked by Maxwell. Tipped by Archibald, and Max comes up with it. Cedric to Larry.
Outstanding.
And in.
Outstanding defensive play by Cedric Maxwell. Then brought it down and laid a nice fake on the defense. Was able to get the ball to Bird, who finished it off. Good job by Max. Max did an exceptional job in that last game against Philly, the regular season, by the way.
Cheeks gets it to fall. Let's take a look at it now.
Here it is. Watch Jay. Max takes an initial swipe at him and misses, but then hangs tough in the play. Was able to get a hand on it. Tiny gets it over to him, and Max over to Bird. Good unselfish play on that fast break.
At the Celtics end, Robert Parrish is fouled going up for a shot. Basket was no good. Foul's going to be on Dr. J, and Robert Parrish will step to the line.
I'm surprised that Caldwell Jones, you were talking about his guarding Bird a moment ago, was not either overplaying Bird to try to keep him from getting the ball, but he was also giving him the outside shot.
He was.
Boy,
I think Caldwell has Larry thinking just a little bit, though. If we've seen in past games, Larry is such an excellent player at making that head fake, shoulder fake. Caldwell's 7 feet tall. He just doesn't have to take him. Celtics on top 5-4 as Parrish had 1 of 2. Jay will take the outside shot from 19, in and out, and Parrish has the rebound. Celtics coming off a 9-day rest. Bird pull up, hits.
Again, Tiny setting the tempo. Tiny and Cheeks for the respective teams will be responsible, and in that sense be critical in terms of how effective the offense of the two teams are, in that they must set the tempo and they must keep pushing the ball up floor quickly and looking for those free men.
Blocked by Parrish. The rebound releases to Tiny. Celtics have a 3-on-2. T to Max.
Beautiful.
And 2.
Beautiful play development by Archibald that time. He knew he wanted to go to that right wing, so he faked the defense completely over the left and then laid a soft pass over to Maxwell. Nice job.
Archibald with 3 assists now, and Bobby Jones getting ready to check into the basketball game for the Philadelphia 76ers. Cheeks, 5 on the shot clock. Down to 3 now. Irving with 2 on the shot clock. Won't go. Caldwell Jones, an aggressive rebound. Loose ball foul's going to be on Larry Bird. And Bobby Jones will check into the game.
Strangely, he comes in for Jay rather than Dawkins. So that'll put Jones on Max, and Caldwell Jones will stay on Larry Bird.
Jay missed his first 4 shots, Bob. Hollins drives, flips it off to Caldwell Jones, who puts it up and in.
That's good penetration by Hollins.
Hollins, a veteran, played on an NBA championship club in Portland. Ford, offensive foul as Bobby Jones does what he does so well, and he takes that charge.
Good defensive anticipation by Jones there. Not easy for a man 6'8" and 9" to get that position on a smaller and quicker guy. This is what Jones does best, and they acknowledge him as the best defensive forward in the league.
There's no question about that. Hollins leans into Ford, no call. Bobby Jones sneaks in for the rebound, blocked by Parrish. Tiny with it. He's got a 3-on-2 to Ford on the side to Bird, and 2. Was that set up? Bird with 6 points and a Crowd loves it. Celtics on top, 11-6, 8:08 to go, first quarter.
One of the keys in this series, since we're talking about the #1 and #2 defensive teams in the league, Philly led the league in defense. Boston was second. Will be the transition time it takes. But both of them were on effective fast break. Parrish,
goaltending,
again gets a hand on the strong muscle move by Dawkins. There's the Hollins shot. Jones sneaks in along the baseline. Good job. Gives a couple of pump fakes to Parrish, but Parrish still is able to reject.
Tiny just throws it up, and they're going to call an offensive foul. Wally Rooney with the call, offensive foul on Tiny Archibald. Now let's take a look at Bird as he comes down to the transition. Archibald keying the play.
Here it is. Tiny looking left, passing right. Ford now holds up, lets Tiny draw the defense away from Bird, who comes through on a trailer. Nice job.
Jones with an air ball. Celtics have it now on their break. Archibald has the ball deflected by Caldwell Jones. It'll be Celtics basketball underneath their own hoop, and it has been fast-paced, Bob. And the Celtics seem to be picking up right where they left off against Chicago. They played some excellent basketball out there.
Both teams, in order to be successful, must run an effective break. So far, the Celtics have done it much better than Philadelphia.
Tiny Archibald adding to his rebounding statistics there as he picked one up off the floor. Second rebound for Tiny tonight. Ball knocked out of bounds. It'll be Celtics basketball. 12 in the shot clock. Ford will take it inbounds. There have been some switches, Bob, in his Philadelphia team as Bird throws it deep to Archibald on the side. Tiny underneath. The scooper and hits. Archibald went to the ice cream store on that one. Woo.
Little dipsy-doodle job by Tiny. They were in the alley-oop play on the side out of bounds for Tiny. I don't know how he got in that position.
Deflected inside by Parrish as he's overplaying Dawkins. They'd like Terrell to take that shot right there. He hit it. And I'll tell you, Caldwell Jones and Larry Bird are having a battle underneath.
Jones just wiped the Bird out that time. Just hooked him and drove him to the floor.
Bird had some kind of series against the Chicago Bulls in those 4 games. Bobby Jones on Maxwell now. Parrish is in the lane, comes out on top. Finds Bird. Larry around the pick. Will take it from 18 and hits. Bird with 8 first-quarter points. Celtics lead at 15-10. Celtics shooting 63% so far, 7 of 11 from the floor.
Philadelphia with a little bit of a speed and quickness advantage on the Celtics, especially at the guard position, but they haven't exploited it. They're not pressuring the Celtics.
Hollins,
good move there, a little pump fake.
His first hoop, and Andrew Toney getting ready to check in. Tiny to the hoop. And they say it was before the shot. Timeout on the floor with 6:01 to go first quarter. Celtics lead at 15-12. And we'll be back right after this.
Well, Jay's contribution and presence is obviously necessary for the Philadelphia cause.
Toney matching up now on Archibald, deflected by Dawkins. Darrell seems to be overplaying Robert just a bit more. He's not laying behind him. He's trying to get out in front a bit.
Well, they've got to stop that Celtic inside game, and when Parrish is in there, it pretty much
ball knocked loose inside.
Becomes Robert Parrish all by himself.
Good job by Bird.
Yep.
Tiny three-point land. Won't go. Parrish the rebound. Back to Tiny. He'll drive the lane. Out to Ford. Three-pointer for Chris. Won't go as Toney runs into the bench. Saved. Celtics have it. Tiny on top. Bird is just knocked out by Hollins. Look at this. Ford, three-point land, turns it down. Shot won't go, but he draws the foul.
I'll tell you,
and it's going to be on Andrew Toney.
Good flurry of offensive rebounding and alert ball hawking on the part of the Celtics there. During the season, here's Ford turns down this three-pointer. He gets Toney coming at him. He knows he's got the penetration set up.
Chris hits the first free throw. He'll have one
goes
more.
Up.
And Chris gets them both. First 2 points of the night for Chris Ford. And the Celtics lead at 17-12 with 5:15 to go. First quarter. Chris Ford will now pick up Andrew Toney, Bob, with Archibald on Hollins.
Toney's tough. He's a rookie, but he's very effective, especially a good one-on-one player.
Oh, you want Dawkins to take that shot, but he's hit a couple now. Dawkins with 6 points as he's hit a couple of 16-footers. And it's 17-14.
Well, if they don't get the ball inside to him, he gets a little nervous and will go out and look for that 15-footer. But I'd be in favor of giving him that shot, despite the fact that he's hit a couple.
Parrish hits the pass from Chris Ford.
Ford doing a nice job finding those open men.
19-14, 5-point Celtic lead. Chris Ford on Andrew Toney right now. Maxwell on Bobby Jones. Jones sets the pick. Try to go with the alley-oop. Max saves it. Toney gets it back and in. Andrew Toney, who had a big game, Bob, in the final game of the season here, had, what was it, 35 points?
Yep. 35. Very effective first year, man, but I don't know how effective he's going to be in this kind of a pressure series.
Parrish posting low, working on Dawkins. What a move right there. Won't go, but a nice move nonetheless. Caldwell Jones a rebound to Lionel Hollins. 4 minutes to go, first quarter. Toney. He's not afraid to put it up, and he does. Andrew Toney with his second hoop. And it's 19-18, a 1-point Celtic lead. Tiny right back at you, Buster, and he gets it.
Blows by Toney.
Left him on the floor. Tiny does that as well as anybody in basketball. I'm sure it frustrates a coach sometimes, but somebody puts one in his face, he's going to come right back at you. Bobby Jones, the left hand won't go. Caldwell to follow, and Ford comes up with the ball. That's going to be an offensive foul. The call by Wally Rooney.
Good job that time by Toney, anticipating that left drive by Tiny. Of course, he'd prefer to go left, but a lot of times he'll cross you up. If you overplay him on that side, he'll go the other way. That time he laid a little fake. Toney didn't go for it, and he had the position. Bill Fitch doesn't like it, but I think he was set for him.
Second foul on Archibald. Third offensive foul on the Celtics as Dr. J checks back in the game. Hollins right inside, blocked by Parrish.
That's exactly what I was talking about on the top of the show. That's what we didn't have last year. The guards can gamble.
Archibald it in! He's fouled! The basket counts!
Outstanding move by Tiny Archibald in the basket. After triggered really by the fine defensive play by Robert Parrish, which we pointed out. That's the kind of help that the Celtic guards are going to get all year, all series long. There it is. Tiny on a penetration, finds the opening. Pretty good hang time there, maintains control.
Foul was on Caldwell Jones, and Archibald completes the three-point play. Tiny with 7 points now, and it's 24-18. A 6-point Celtic lead with just under 3 minutes to go. That is their biggest lead of the night. Whistle underneath, and Vanek makes the call. It's going to be on Chris Ford, and we have a timeout on the floor with 2:54 to go first quarter. Some have picked it up in your estimation here.
Well, that was one of the things that the observers were anticipating, that after that emotional game on Sunday, they might come out a little flat. But they have picked it up, because the fact that...
Steal by Archibald, and Parrish comes up with it.
Alert defensive play. The Celtics, by the way, do not seem to have been affected by that layoff, and that was the other thing that people were theorizing about. They've come out ready to play and seem sharp.
I think they smell it. Caldwell Jones with the deflection. Jay to Hollins. Nice move by Hollins, but Bobby Jones with the follow, the loose ball foul.
Both these teams hit the backboard, the offensive board, with great intensity. The Celtics, over the span of the season, a little bit of an edge on that offensive board, about 164 more. On the other hand, Philadelphia as a team has out-rebounded the Celtics by about 130 or so. So a little stronger on the overall rebounding on a part of Philly, but a little edge for the Celts on that offensive board. Bobby Jones is one guy that you must keep off that offensive board.
Celts now are in the penalty situation. Bird at the line shooting 2 has hit 95% of his free throws, Bob, in the playoffs. As Larry now has 9 first quarter points. Bobby Jones and Dr. J are 0 for 8 from the floor so far in this first quarter.
That's helped the cause. Yeah, Larry was 8th in the league in free throw shooting. Hit about 86% over the span of the season.
26-18. Biggest lead for the Celts. Bobby Jones from the foul line, in and out. Jay keeps it alive, and Caldwell Jones out the cheeks. Back to Jay. Gets Max in the air, finds Bobby Jones, a left hand, blocked by Parrish. That is 3, releases to Ford. Here comes Chris, back to T on top.
I'll tell you, Parrish has been a tower of strength guarding that.
Three-point won't go. Bobby Jones a rebound. Cheeks to Jay. House call.
Good job. Good lead pass by Cheeks. And that's all she wrote. When you give old Jay a step on the field, forget it.
First 2 points for Dr. J, 26-20. With 1:35 to go. Maurice Cheeks guarding Archibald. Looking for Maxwell low. Max has got to go with the jump hook. 1 fake, 2 fake, 3 fake. Got it. Woo.
Good job.
Maxwell house. Looked like a percolator that time, huh?
Max kind of spun him around on that move. I thought
he was in the lane for a little
might,
while, right?
yeah, might either call 3 seconds or maybe a little bit of a walk, but Max eventually got it up to the basket after laying a half a dozen fakes on Jay.
Foul's going to be on Cedric Maxwell, his first.
Here's Jay's first hoop. Not your ordinary everyday layup type, a little bit more flamboyant than that.
Jay has been known to come in from the stratosphere.
Well, Bill Fitch has said that the key to beating this team is keeping with everyone within Jay from the outside.
Maxwell's had fairly good success, Bob, guarding as Parrish has it down low, puts it up and in. Robert Parrish now with 7 first-quarter points, 30-22, 58 seconds to go. I was going to mention that Max has had fairly good success against Irving this year.
Yes, he has. That's the first time, by the way, that the Celtics have tried to break Parrish away. As we know, he's had great success.
Bobby Jones
across the middle.
His first 2.
Parrish has had great success all season long, beating the centers down after
Archibald again. Tiny Archibald now with 9 first-quarter points, 32-24. As Tiny is doing it all, 4 of 6 from the floor, 29 seconds to go first quarter.
We talked about these 2 kids setting the tempo, and I'll tell you, Cheeks is going to have to dig in a little bit more on Tiny in terms of his penetration, because he's got the kind of speed and quickness where Tiny can get by occasionally, but not as easily as he has so far.
Double team by Maxwell outside Tony, inside Irving, knocked out. And it'll be Philadelphia basketball. 1 on the shot, 11 on the game clock, and they'll reset it to 10. Now that Vanek now is going to say down to 5.
I started to say a moment ago, Bill Fitch feels that keeping the Philadelphia players, close to their average is the key. In other words, not letting any 1 or 2 players go wild on you.
Parrish the rebound, 5 seconds to go in the quarter. Max the spin to Tiny, 1 second. Doesn't get it off. No basket.
Good call. Both Vanek and Wally Rooney right on the play and agreeing on the call.
Well, that'll end the first quarter of play here at the Boston Garden, with the Celtics leading the Philadelphia 76ers by the score of 32-24. And we'll be back with second quarter action right after this. Andrew Toney 4. And the Celtics have made a couple of substitutions. Kevin McHale and ML Carr check into the game to start the second quarter of play.
Robert Parrish, I think, the key man for the Celtics in that quarter. Not only with his defensive rebounding, the fact that he scored, he had 6 rebounds, by the way, most of them on that defensive board. He scored 7 points, but had at least 3 key blocks, I thought, which triggered baskets on the other end.
Blocked by Toney.
Oh, Toney with a fine defensive play.
But then a foul in the backcourt. Foul's going to be on McHale, as Andrew Toney skied that time. He actually caught Kevin coming down on a shot, but nonetheless a fine effort by Andrew Toney. And you don't see a 6'11" guy getting blocked very often by a 6'2" guard.
Well, as we said a while ago, Toney has great physical talent, shoots extremely well, great one-on-one moves, ball handling a little careless. And here's that defensive play. It's funny, he almost goes up prematurely, but he hung up there and was still able to get his hands on the ball. Jay can't quite handle it, gets a little help from McHale.
Irving 72% from the free throw line in the playoffs, drops them both. Jay with 6 points, and it's 32-26. A lot of pressure.
Half-court trap by Philadelphia. They like to hit you with 2-1-2 zone pressure. Kevin goes cross-court to Bird.
Glass it in. Larry with 12 points.
I'll tell you, these 2 teams know each other so well, Roger. Whatever they do offensively or defensively is not going to catch the opponent by surprise. Parrish! He trapped it on the backboard. Yep, you cannot trap it. The ball, the hand, and the backboard have to simultaneously be present. There's Cheeks. Well, you can't see the trap, but he did trap it on the backboard. Once it hits the backboard, it cannot be interfered with.
Tiny with it on top. Celtics shot 62% in the first quarter. Philadelphia but 43. The Celts went to the line 7 times. Philadelphia did not shoot a free throw in that first quarter. Parrish with the shot. McHale to follow, won't go, and Tony the rebound, but a whistle underneath. Loose ball foul.
Little off balance
Foul's
shot
going to be on
by
Dr. J. Second foul on Julius Erving.
Little off balance shot by Robert Parrish. You saw Kevin McHale get in there from the weak side. We also saw Caldwell Jones and Bobby Jones do it on the other end. You see, when you're fronting the center and both teams are attempting to front the pivot man, you must need help from the weak side. If they go high lob, it brings the weak side forward across, and this is what opens up that offensive rebounding opportunity for the weak side forward that is left.
McHale misses them both as he's shooting 70% in the playoffs, so this is a big game for the rookie, Bob, both for McHale and Andrew Toney, the two primary rookies on both these teams. Dawkins misses. Oh, Erving came crashing through. And he is fouled by McHale. That was some kind of effort by the good Doc that time.
Absolutely. An exceptional physical effort in getting the initial rebound. Look at Jay knife in between Bird and McHale.
Fouls on Kevin.
Bring it up immediately. Watch this. Waste no time getting it back up to the basket. One dribble brings him in. Draws the foul.
You know, Maxwell was telling us about a week ago. He said it didn't make any difference who they played, Milwaukee or Philly. He was going to get Steph Garden, Marcus Johnson, or Dr. J. And I asked him tonight, I said, well, what do you think now that you got Jay? He's played a lot of games, and he looked at me and he said, hey, it doesn't make any difference how many games this guy's played. He's never tired.
As we've said so often, Jay Bird and Marcus Johnson are 3 outstanding forwards.
McHale, the offensive board, and in. Kevin McHale.
Beautiful job by the rookie. I'll tell you, that answers part of your question a moment ago. He is hitting those boards with great intensity. That time made a nice play to get the ball back up.
36-30, Toney from way outside and hits it. This is the ability of Andrew Toney. He is an excellent shooter. Toney with 6 points. Tiny pushes it up quickly. McHale on top.
Wasn't the best shot in the world, however, and this can hurt you as the game progresses.
Looking low to Parrish. Bird will take it. The running right-hander blocked by Erving. They want a goaltending. It's not there. Cheeks all the way and in.
Good job by Cheeks. Protected the ball. Brought his body into ML Carr trying to draw the foul. He's upset talking to John Vanek. Good play by Cheeks.
36-34. Celtics by 2 with 9:35 to go. Tiny looking for the lane. Back out to Larry. Step back. Lean in. Hits it and he's fouled. What a move.
I'll tell you, got Caldwell Jones up with that pump fake that he likes to use on the outside. Jones was able to avoid the contact initially, but then Bird leaned into him again, made the shot, and this time threw it the second time around.
Well, that was something.
A nice series of moves. Here it is. Watch him. He's going to pump fake him up the first time. Now, you can't step in under the man. He avoids the foul, but then he steps back into the play and gets a piece of Bird on the outside shot.
Parrish checks out. Roby comes in as Bird completes a 3-point play. Parrish 7 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 block shots as the big bumper, Rick Roby, checks in right now. Erving over McHale. Won't go. They both hit the deck, and Roby gets the rebound. Releases to Archibald. Tiny will put it in the middle. Throws it up. Roby with Dawkins on his back. No call. And they're going to call a foul on Rick Roby underneath.
Well, there were half a dozen fouls that John Vanek could have called that time. He chose to pick Roby out. Let's take a look. Dawkins leaning in.
He's on his back right there.
Roby, yeah.
Pulls him down.
Look at this.
He's got him in an arm lock.
Oh, wow. That's hard to see how that call could have been made.
Are you sure this isn't Saturday Night Wrestling at the Boston Garden? What have we got here? Nonetheless, Philadelphia basketball. Dr. J with it on the side. 8:54 left to go. First half. 5 on the shot clock. Toney with the pop and hits.
Kid is tough.
Andrew Toney with 8 points. And Bob, I think these two rookies are going to be a big factor in this series. Kevin McHale and Andrew Toney. Bird off the window and in.
They're going to have to find Larry quicker than that, I'll tell you. They're letting him penetrate low before going out to guard him, and that's opening up the outside shot.
Well, he's got 17 so far, Bob, in the first half. 41-36. Celts on top by 5. Mix is in the game now. There is some banging going on inside between Roby and Dawkins. Here comes the Doc. Won't go. Bird the rebound.
Tell you, McHale has really got Jay thinking.
Tiny turns it over on the dribble.
McHale had 2 big blocks on Jay in that crucial last season game between these 2 clubs, and I think Jay's still looking over his shoulder a little bit.
Philly wants a timeout with 8:12 to go first half. Celtics lead at 41-36, and we'll be back to the Boston Garden right after this. 4.8%. So far in the playoffs, just 39%, but he's come out smoking here tonight. Rookie out of Southwest Louisiana, #1 draft pick by the Philadelphia 76ers. Steve Mix is not afraid to put it up. Won't go. Dawkins the rebound, but a whistle underneath. Foul's going to be on Daryl Dawkins as Wally Rooney makes the call. First foul on Dawkins. 3 team fouls on both the Sixers and the Celtics with 7:58 to go first half. Bird, McHale, Carr, Roby, and Henderson in there now for the Celtics. ML on top with the shot and hits.
ML effective with that move because he catches the ball, holds it high from the time he receives, and he can drive from that position or obviously shoot. And that time he elected to shoot. Almost
good hustle
saved by Roby. Good hustle.
Well, Mix was the guy that mixed it up with Bob Lanier on Sunday in that final 7th game. And I'd have to say that Mix got the worst of it.
Yeah, he took a pretty good shot from Lanier. Pretty tough kid, though, Mix. He doesn't have that overwhelming speed and quickness, so he tries to make up for it in other more subtle ways, like hammering people.
Deflection by Bird. Carr comes up with it long past the Larry.
Wow, almost was able to save it.
Cheeks comes away with it. He's got Tony on the wing along with Jay. Inside to the Doc. Won't go. Jay gets it back and slams it home.
Jay's starting to take charge a little bit.
Yes, he is. Jay now with 10 points, and it's 43-38, a 5-point Celtic lead with under 7 minutes to go. First half.
It was kind of vintage Jay there. Missed it on one side.
Steal by Jay.
Roby.
Here it comes. Showtime.
When Jay's got that overplay on a man you want to pass to, you need one pump fake before you let it go. And then when you let it go, don't hang it. Put a little mustard on it. That's the end of it. The play was made when he stole that ball. Little lazy pass there by Rowe.
Henderson coming off the pick. Gerald, the turnaround shot, and in. Gerald Henderson.
Not the best shot, but Gerald
got it down.
Knocked it down, yeah.
Cheeks quickly up court. Henderson on him. Good physical matchup between those 2 players. Very similar in size and style.
Celtics run their offense, pretty effectively, to the point where you really don't have to force a shot.
Should be an offensive foul. Rooney's going to call it on Henderson.
Yep.
All right, Rooney's got a better angle at it than we do down here. Fouls on Gerald Henderson, his first, and fourth on the team.
Here it is. Gerald's giving him the baseline. He takes it. Gerald, he never did have the position established.
Henderson,
double team
now. Cheeks coming off the pick. Inside, Bobby Jones, a baseliner from about 14, and hits. Bobby Jones with his second hoop, and it's 45-42, a 3-point lead. Roby, and they're going to call an offensive foul on Rick Roby.
Again, Robe is going against extreme speed and quickness on this club, so when he catches, before he makes his move, he's got to get himself under control. The ball actually led him into Jones on that particular play. I don't know whether he could have put on the brakes, even if he had seen Jones take a position.
Andrew Toney in the corner, coming off the Dawkins pick, and what a pick it was. Won't go. Jones the rebound, back to Toney. Tipped around. ML Carr comes away with it. And they're going to call a block on Andrew Toney, and Toney stuck a leg out.
Yeah, he had the position, but he jumped in too quickly. You've got to give the offensive man a chance to avoid the contact. That time he just jumped in as ML got that deflected ball. Watch this. Depending on the speed of the players, you've got to give them either a 1 or 2-step advantage to avoid the contact. That time they felt that ML did not have it. Let's take another look. See if you think he had the position. He was stationed and he was squared off, but I think he didn't give him enough room.
Carr 79% from the foul line in the playoffs, and he cans one of team's 4 team fouls. 46-42. Celtics out on top. 5:24 to go first half. Inside to Dawkins, working on Roby. Puts it up, won't go. Bird has it stripped by Tony, and it'll be Celtic basketball. So they'll try to work Dawkins low now against Roby.
Yeah, they got it into him that time and had the pretty good positions, but Dawk just couldn't quite work himself free for the best shot.
Henderson to Roby on top. Looking at McHale low. He's guarded by Bobby Jones. 10 on the shot clock. Rick looking at it, gives it to ML, and he says, you take that shot. It won't go, and rebound taken down by Maurice Cheeks. Across the timeline, he pushes it. Loses it for a moment, but Andrew Toney comes up with it. Jay. Bounce pass inside, stolen by Roby.
Good steal. Jay a little careless there with his bounce pass. Celtics created 17 turnovers in the first half against these guys in the last game. That last season game. 30 for the game. So
Bird and 2. Larry Bird now with 19 points, and it's 48-42. Celtics lead it by 6. Bird has hit 8 of 12 so far tonight, Bob.
Got a lot of hopes on that little pop-out move off that single pick down low. If the defense runs out there with him, it
look at that pass by Irving.
Basket.
Bobby Jones it in. What a pass by Irving with the left hand. Bird pulls up 20 feet. Won't go. Bobby Jones a rebound. Here comes Maurice Cheeks. Pull-up pop from 20. In and out. McHale the rebound. ML Carr in the middle. The Bird on the wing. Larry, 16 feet. Won't go. And there's going to be a foul from behind.
No question about the foul on Roby that time, and that'll bring him down a bonus. There's the low pass into Jay. McHale does a pretty good job on him defensively, so he's got to flip it back out to Bobby Jones, who finishes it off.
Foul was on Kevin McHale that time. That is his 3rd. So 3 fouls on McHale, and the Celtics are over the limit, so Bobby Jones will go to the charity stripe.
Good free throw shooter, Bobby Jones. Good all-around play, as we pointed out. His strength is his defense, but he moves extremely well, especially on the break. Here it is. No question about the call, as we said. Oh, Kevin's getting kind of cute, though.
Bobby Jones, as you mentioned, an excellent free throw shooter. As a matter of fact, Bobby's 4th in NBA playoff history in field goal percentage. So, I mean, that's going to make him pretty good from the free throw line, too.
Well, his shot selection is excellent. He will very seldom take a low percentage shot. And he's generally not looking to score, except when he's running out of the lane on the break. Maxwell is back in.
Jones misses the second one. McHale come out with 3 fouls. Maxwell in. Henderson. Clint Richardson in there now, number 4. Richardson, 2nd year out of Seattle. Henderson will take it from 20. Won't go. Celtics are going cold now from the outside. They're not trying to get the ball in.
They're still running well, but their half-court offense has gone a little stale.
3:25 to go. Toney pushes off, and they're going to say that ML Carr was on top of him before that push-off. Foul is on Carr. And that will be his first. And Robert Parrish and Tiny Archibald will check back in the game now, and Henderson and Roby will come out.
Good move by Bill Fitch, I think. Here's the Toney move. He gives him a little change of pace action there. And ML isn't quite able to get back into position. Toney is tough, as we've said. You've seen him hit a couple of outside shots. Now the defense is coming out a little bit more on him, and it's opening up his driving opportunities. Obviously, the effectiveness of a guard is really how well he can do these 2 things: hit from about 16 or 17 feet, and put it to the floor and bring it into the basket.
Toney drops them both. 48-47 at one point. Celtic lead. Celtics have led throughout this first half. 3:15 to go. Bird open. Won't go. Parrish the offensive rebound. Tough baseline turnaround. Won't go, and Dawkins has it. That was a tough angle for Robert there behind the glass.
He's doing a number on Dawkins on those boards, though. He shouldn't be that effective if Dawkins is doing his job, boxing out, or else going strong for the rebound himself. Robert shouldn't be as effective as he has been.
Caldwell Jones with a downhill hook shot over Larry Bird. Caldwell has 6, and the Sixers have the lead. for the first time tonight, 49-48 with 2:43 to go first half. Maxwell looking low to Parrish. Now he'll take it inside, drops it to Bird. Larry, a couple of fakes, will put it up and in. Larry Bird now with 21 points.
Larry more offensive-minded tonight than he generally is. I think he knows that.
As all great players do in the playoff series, you know, he's going to take charge. Turnover there by the 76ers. And there's a timeout by the Boston Celtics with 2:17 to go first half. Celts lead it by 1, 50-49, and Bob and I will be back at the Boston Garden right after this. About rebounding Philadelphia, Bob, 24-19 so far.
Celts have been tough on that offensive board, especially. I thought, as I said, they have an advantage over this club on the offensive boards.
Carr posting up on Caldwell Jones, will take it inside at a whistle. Vanek.
ML had the hoop too.
Fouls on Clint Richardson, and he'll go to the line.
Take a look. We get a whistle as he comes through the middle here, but they were going to give him the continuation on the play. There you saw Cheeks, was it, reaching
Clint
in?
Richardson.
Richardson reaching in.
Both teams in the penalty now, so ML will have 3 to make 2. And he hits the first one.
You know, I started to say a little earlier, these two teams know each other so well. They have each other so well scouted that nothing that they do defensively or offensively should catch the other by surprise. We saw Philadelphia go into that 2-1-2 zone, full zone pressure, trying to tap the ball after they made free throws. Celtics handled it easily. What happens on offense, too, is the options to the play when two clubs know each other as well generally are more effective than the play themselves. Or the broken play, for instance, may work a little better.
5 on the shot clock. Dawkins took a step, didn't call it, and he hits it. I'll tell you, Dawkins has hit his outside shot. Dawkins with 8 points, and it's 52-51 with 1:34 to go. Dawkins 4 of 6 from the floor. Maxwell moving in on Bobby Jones, got the baseline. No call, and Andrew Toney comes up with a basketball.
Good job by Toney again, coming over to help on the big guys. They're able to slap it out of Max's hands.
10 on the shot clock. Philly being very patient right now. And a whistle outside on ML Carr, and ML doesn't like it one bit. Second foul on ML.
They were trying to isolate Toney on the right side. They swung the ball around. I think ML anticipated the play. And you're going to see him overplaying him here. Now, here's the Max play, by the way, last time down. Jones with the good defensive position, but Max is still able to bring it around him, and Toney comes over from the other side with the good defensive play. Here it is. They're swinging the ball, trying to isolate Toney on the right side. ML anticipates and overplays to try to keep him from getting it. A little too aggressively, according to Wally Rooney. And
Toney is 70% free throw shooter in the playoffs, and he cans them both. So Andrew Toney now with 12 points off the bench. A good contribution by the rookie out of Southwest Louisiana. T on top, in and out. Toney with the basketball. 53-52, Philly on top. Andrew Toney in the Bird, and it's going to be an offensive foul.
No question, again, on that call. Toney just lowered the shoulder. Watch now, he gets by ML with Jones running interference. Now you're going to see him just throw himself into Bird. Third foul on Toney, by the way.
50 seconds to go first half. Tiny working on Richardson, picked by Parrish. Looking inside, he's got Robert. Caldwell Jones on him. The turnaround shot hits! Robert Parrish with 9 points.
First hoop this quarter. Robert's been a little quiet offensively, but he's been a tower of strength defensively and on those boards.
Carr on Toney, whistle, and Toney and Carr squaring off right there. Billy Cunningham comes out on the floor, and now ML Carr and Billy Cunningham are having some words. I'll tell you, ML doesn't back up. He doesn't give any ground.
He wants
whatsoever.
a piece of him too. Well, it hasn't taken long for the war to start in this series, has it?
We have a 20-second timeout, I believe.
Whoever called it, a very judicious call, I would say, because
apparently there was no call on the initial contact between Carr and Toney, and it was a 20-second timeout.
Well, a whistle was blown, however. Did they call a violation?
No, there
or
was
a foul?
there was no foul, no violation. They just started mixing it up.
Philadelphia asked for the 22nd timeout?
Apparently Philadelphia did ask for the 22nd, and there was no violation. Here it is.
Again, trying to isolate Tony on ML. ML reaches in, and evidently Tony said something to him. No, I guess they did not call a foul on the play.
26 seconds to go. 11 on the shot clock. Hollins back in there. Fadeaway jumper, and hits it. He does that so well, Bob, falling away from the hoop.
He leans in and gets you falling off him, and then he just takes that little fall-away jumper. This is a good move, and a tough move to counter that.
Tiny with 10 seconds to go first half. That one final shot. They're going to set Bird up. 5 seconds. Parrish has got it. 4, 3, 2. They won't get anything off. Celtics can't get it off, and that ends the first half of play from the Boston Garden, with the Philadelphia 76ers holding a 1-point 55-54 lead. We'll be back with our halftime right after this. Okay. Patty Catalano's on hand here tonight. Of course, she finished second in the Boston Marathon women's division yesterday. And there's a shot of her right there. And Patty is one of the biggest Celtic fans going as Parrish hits the turnaround. Well, Patty gave it her best shot, but finished second for the 3rd year in a row.
Well, I'll tell you, she's a heck of an athlete.
Yes, she is.
She's got a long way to go. She's going to win a few more races before she hangs them up.
Irving from the side and hits.
Celtics going inside early to Parrish.
57-56. Both starting lineups come back to open the 3rd period. Maxwell to Ford underneath. And a whistle underneath. Vanek makes the call.
I think Hollins got Max before he was able to swing that pass across to Ford on a double-up.
First foul on Lionel Hollins.
Again, Celtics trying to go inside. They went to Parrish the first time down. This time to Max. He picks up the double team, immediately looks for that free man. Celtics do that extremely well. Their interior passing is excellent.
Tony, the only Sixer in foul trouble with 3. Meanwhile, McHale with 3 fouls for the Celtics. Maxwell once again back out to Tiny. Off the mark, and Irving with the rebound. Doc's got the springs loaded tonight. He is jumping. Cheeks inside to Dawkins.
Well, we talked about Larry Bird and all the ways that he can hurt you. A terrible shot by Dawkins.
That was a running brick.
Oh, wow. Well, that's what I mean by a occasional lack of consistency or concentration by the big guy.
Steps right there for Parrish.
And he makes up for it with a pretty good defensive play. He forces Parrish into taking the baby steps there. 8
turnovers for the Celtics. Bob Dawkins was 4 of 6 from the floor, and he hit most of those from outside.
Yeah, the Celtics were able to shut him off inside, so he went out and he can hit that little 15-footer. He faces the hoop pretty well.
But ideally, that's a shot you'd like him to take.
Yeah, no, well, you've got to give something away generally, and you try to force a man to his weakness, or at least the lesser of the two evils.
5 on the shot clock. Hollins will take it, and he hits it. You can't give Lionel Hollins a wide open shot. He'll just kill you with it.
Nice release. Streak shooter, as you said earlier, I believe. He is the weaker shooting guard of all the Celtics. Excuse me, the 76ers 4 guards. But even he's shooting at 47%, so I don't know how weak that is.
Third and air ball on the baseline. Max, the offensive rebound, and then is tied up underneath.
That air ball caught the Philadelphia
be on Hollins.
Defense completely by surprise. I think they've never seen Bird shoot an air ball before. Let's see if somebody gets a hand on it. Now Jay goes up, but I don't think he deflected it. But anyway, Max is the only guy that responded to it, got a hand on it.
59-56, a 3-point Philadelphia lead. That's their biggest lead of the night. Maxwell working low, stripped by Cheeks, knocked loose, and Mo Cheeks comes up with it. Behind the back across the timeline now. Cheeks will set things up. Dawkins on a high post.
Philadelphia guards extremely quick. Both Hollins and Cheeks. If you don't protect the ball, they're going to normally be able to get a hand on it and accomplish something.
Irving with the scooper.
Outstanding move by Julius Irving on that play.
Save that one for the time capsule. Tiny puts it up, draws the foul from Cheeks. Second foul on Mo Cheeks. That'll be the third team foul. And Kevin McHale is quickly up off the bench and going to check back in. Third team foul. Let's take a look now at Doctor with the scooper.
There it is. He backs him in, gets Max on the outside, and spins around and just beats Larry Bird, who came over from the weak side to help.
And he did it with the left hand, too. That's
well, that's pretty commonplace for a guy with his talent
pays to be ambidextrous.
Yeah.
I guess when you make that kind of money, they expect you to be able to shoot with both hands. Bobby Jones does that well, too. He can go with the left hand on that type of move. Tiny hit 1 of 2, 61-57, as the Sixers have come out smoking here. Start the third quarter. Jay won't go with the glass shot. And here come the Celtics. McHale in for Maxwell. Kevin, the baseline, blocked by Dawkins.
That's good job by the big guy that time. He timed it beautifully. McHale a little off balance on the shot, and as a result had a low trajectory that Dawkins was able to get to.
Inside to Parrish. Robert, couple of moves, trying to go inside, lays it, won't go.
Dawkins.
And the foul is going to be on Daryl Dawkins. That'll be his second, but a nice move inside by Parrish.
Fourth team foul, by the way, which the Celtics should be able to exploit here on Philadelphia. They go to the line, or they will be going to the line, shooting penalty on every foul after this one. And they've got 8.5 minutes left, so
Parrish, he missed badly.
We're going to see them continue to go inside. They started off the half that way. Now they have more motive to.
He missed them both.
Stepped away from it before he released it. You got to stay with that shot, especially on a free throw line.
Cheeks on top. Bob, how does now the second half has started? Jay blocked by McHale.
I'll tell you, this kid have Jay thinking.
And off the glass by Hollins and in. Let me ask you, the Celtics came out of the shoot really fast in that first half. Can the layoff affect them in the second half?
It can. Oh, absolutely. You know, it will manifest itself, but it's just too early to tell. They came out of the box strong, you know, and it normally, if you're going to be flat, it happens at the start. But over the span of 48 minutes, yes, the layoff can affect him in the second half.
Here's McHale with the block right there at Jay.
He has really got Jay thinking a little bit. Okay, we've got a timeout here. Philadelphia on top, 63-57.
63-57 with just over 8 minutes to go. Third quarter, McHale with Jay on him. Kevin's a little hesitant to take that turnaround shot. Now he does and hits it. A bite my tongue.
That wasn't an easy shot at that point, because he had decided he didn't want to shoot it, but he couldn't find a receiver and the clock was running out, so he let it fly.
The crowd has really come to life now. Dawkins outside misses. Tiny finally comes up with a loose ball. 6 rebounds for Archibald. Bird with 21 points in the first half. McHale turns, the shot won't go, and Caldwell Jones a rebound. 3 for Caldwell. Celtics are just 5 of 11 from the free throw line, Bob, in the second and third quarter. 11 of 18 in the game. Irving.
I'll tell you,
Dawkins.
Jay is trying to do everything possible to get the rookie off balance, and I'll tell you, McHale just stays home. He's not reacting to the fakes at all, and Jay doesn't quite know how to handle it. I'm sure he'll find a way, but at the moment he's a little perplexed.
Bobby Jones will check in now, and Daryl Dawkins will come out. So that's a good move, I think, with McHale in there, is it not, Bob?
That would be my starting lineup, the one you've got in there right now. I think that's the strongest Philadelphia lineup.
Ford with a two-pointer. Second hoop, first hoop of the night for Chris. 4 points, and it's 63-61. A 2-point Philadelphia lead. The crowd is maybe sensed a letdown, Bob, and they picked it up. Jay. Bobby Jones skied, but Tiny Archibald comes away with it. T with a 4-on-3 and in. Little man does it by himself.
Nice job. That time Cheeks was there, but he didn't establish a position. He gave with the pressure, so he never picked up the charge. I think if he had held his ground, Tiny would have charged into him. Good play for the Celtics.
Bird reaches in on Jones, can't get it. Cheeks at the foul line, working one-on-one with Archibald. 6 on the shot clock. Mo Cheeks won't go. Jay and in, and he's fouled.
Didn't box him out, and Jay took advantage of it. Not easy to box this man out. But I'll tell you, the Celtic defense the last 3 times down the floor had forced Philadelphia into bad shots. 2 by Dawkins and 1 by Jay. And they had just forced another low percentage shot. That's the end of the Jay play after he made an outstanding offensive rebound.
Bob, he has got 7 rebounds, 5 on the offensive boards. And he completes the 3-point play. So Irving now with 19 points.
And a big momentum breaker there. The Celtics had it going pretty good.
Yes, they did. They had hit 6 straight before that. 66-63. Bird in the lane and hits. Larry with his first hoop of the quarter.
Jones pressured him high. He rolled around him. Took it all the way in himself. Nobody challenged him.
Cheeks runs into traffic. 66-65. A 1-point Philly lead. 5:35 to go in the quarter.
The Celtics can shut down a 76 fast break. They do not run their half-court offense anywhere near as effectively as
Blocked
Boston
by
does.
Parrish.
Beautiful.
Released to Tiny. He's in the lane and scores. Tiny Archibald now with 14 points as Robert Parrish has 5 block shots. What a rejector will do for you, Bob. This is going to remind you when Russell was swatting him around.
Absolutely. Huh? You can't imagine the impact that type of play has, not only on the fans that you hear, but the 4 other players. Fine play by Archibald, but triggered by Parrish's rejection of that Philadelphia shot. Here's Hollins laying off to Jones. Parrish leaves Caldwell Jones. Yeah, that's also the key to blocking shots. Keep it in play. Now here's the finish to it. And again, McHale forces Jay into an off-balance shot.
Bird the rebound. Tiny. McHale and Parrish want the basketball. They just can't get it at the same time. T in traffic to Robert. Little baby step. Stripped by Bobby Jones. Here comes Jay. Across the timeline. Cheeks in the middle to Bobby Jones. And in, and he's fouled by Bird.
Good penetration by Cheeks. Parrish on the other end, I think, should have taken his little jumper. He trained down a 12-footer to bring it in there. Generally, if you have a choice and you're alive and you got the defense coming at you, you want to take it in. Look for the layup rather than a jumper, but that time it was ill-advised. There's the end of the play on the other end. Cheeks with the good shuffle pass to Bobby Jones, who moves so well out of those lanes.
Misses the free throw, though. Bobby Jones with 9 points. 68-67. Ford misses it. McHale grabs the offensive rebound, stripped loose by Cheeks. And they're going to say no foul, but it'll be Celtic basketball underneath their own hoop. Boston's bench, Bob, with 11 points. Philly with 21, and all 21 coming from Tony and Jones.
They're the guys that can do the damage.
Well, Bibby was a guy that came off the bench in years past to hurt the Celtics. As Parrish hits, and Andrew Toney seemingly has picked up where he left off.
I'm surprised. Parrish came out and doubled on Tiny off that high pick that they set for him. And then he tried to get back to his own man. If you commit yourself, you've got to stay out on that guard and double him up.
Celtics back on top by 1. Hollins with it. 6 on the shot clock. McHale and Irving. 3 on the shot clock. 1. They don't get it off. McHale is giving Irving fits.
The ball must leave the player's hand before the 24 seconds elapses. Then it must touch either the backboard or the rim. As you saw, Caldwell was not able to get it off before the buzzer.
3:43 to go. Third quarter. 69-68. Celtics on top by 1.
Trying to keep Tiny from using that high pick.
Cheeks pretty good defensive player.
Setting. Yeah, he's been coming over the top.
He got a foul there, and on Maurice Cheeks, that is his 3rd. And that'll put the Celtics finally, Bob, into the penalty situation. So they went almost 5 minutes.
We talked about exploiting it. There it is. Cheeks. Caldwell Jones takes a shot at him. Tiny's tough. He's so low to the ground. So other than his speed, he's very difficult to take it away from. He doesn't show you much ball, and the minute that you challenge him or go for it, once your weight's coming forward, boy, he's going to blow by you.
We've got a meeting of the minds at center court right now with Jim Capers, John Vanek, Wally Rooney, Bill Fitch, and Billy Cunningham as they're discussing something. Capers came out to Vanek and said, we've got a bit of a problem here. Problems always seem to deal with a 24-second clock, it seems as though, Bob. So,
well, the buzzer did go off. If
there was
Billy
no way that
Cunningham
Caldwell Jones got that shot off. No.
Yeah. And then it was deflected.
You know, they had a play in that game Sunday against Milwaukee where Jones got a shot off with just 1 second remaining. As a matter of fact, the officials in that game, the media and the Milwaukee management, went over to a television station to watch the tapes afterwards.
Don Nelson and Wayne Ember, requested. I'm surprised they did that. There must have been some question, but evidently the tape verified the official's call.
Billy Cunningham on the job training. Bob came right out of the pro ranks and took the head job. And he's done a remarkable job there with Philadelphia. He got himself surrounded with some good basketball people, and Chuck Daly and Jack McMahon. And,
yes, he has. He's obviously got a very strong team here, but he's got them disciplined. This is the difficulty they had when McGinnis was around. Some of these other guys, you know, it was too much of a one-on-one ball club. A lot of individual strength, but they didn't put it together collectively.
Key deal was Bobby Jones for McGinnis. Tiny Archibald, by the way, with 7 rebounds. That is career high in playoff competition. Tiny's doing it on the boards tonight. He drops them both. And the Celtics have a 3-point lead, 71-68 with 3:30 to go. Third quarter. High lob to BJ and in. Tony with the assist.
Nice quick pass, caught the weak side by surprise there. They weren't able to give the Celtics any help, but were fronting Jones inside.
Ford in the corner. He's got the lane. Hollins steps in. With foul on Lionel Hollins.
Take a look. The defense doesn't have a chance to set. Tony throws it from the waist, and you notice Bobby Jones catching Bird coming across. Here's the Ford foul the next time down. Jones never bothered to come down to the floor. He made the shot in the same motion.
Ford misses a free throw, so the Celtics have gone cold from the charity stripe. They are 11 of 19 and make that 11 of 20 now. So Parrish and Ford have gone to the line in this quarter, Bob, and missed a couple.
Well, with two teams this evenly matched, obviously the little things are going to make the difference.
Parrish the rebound.
You're going to have to hit your percentage with those free throws.
Ford measured it from three-point land. The leaner, Dawkins swats it out of bounds.
That was an easy one because he got by his man, but he came with the underhand job, and Dawkins moved in, just swatted it out of the air right after he left his hand.
Timeout on the floor, 2:48 to go in the third quarter. Celtics lead it by 71-70, and we'll be back right after this. We recognize the fact, and we wish her a lot of luck in the marathon race. Parrish hits from the side. (73-70), and the clock is messed up now. They've got 11 minutes and 48 seconds on there. And I know that Bill Fitch has his trusty stopwatch with him, so he'll go over and give him the...
A lot of guys with 3 and 2 fouls on them here, so as they get fatigued, there's going to be a little more grabbing and holding than you had in the early going.
2:33 as they have the clock fixed. That's the time remaining. Third quarter, 73-70. 8 on the shot clock. Dawkins, well, he took a giant step. No call. Jones, a left-handed leaner. Bird, the rebound, hits the deck. Dawkins takes a look at him. Tiny across the timeline to Ford on the side. He'll get it to Kevin. Hits! Kevin McHale. Old thumper.
Good job. Again, now that time Kevin turned down the 12-footer, brought it in the middle under control, saw the opening and took it. Tony answers quickly.
Andrew Toney. He has been a factor. 14 points for the rookie. 75-72, less than 2 to go. Clint Richardson is in there now, along with Toney, Caldwell Jones, Dawkins, and Bobby Jones.
They've got Parrish high, and they're trying to post up McHale.
Chris Ford from outside. Watch this play.
Ooh.
And that was not called, folks.
What were we saying about is the game getting more physical? Tony knifes his way through, finds an opening between the two defenders. Again, the kid continues to impress. with his physical talent.
Foul was on Parrish as Dr. J checks back in. Tony, Bob, in college was an exception to the rule. You talk about college athletes, some of them taking more than 4 years to graduate, some never graduating. This guy happened to graduate a semester before everybody else, and his last semester of college, he took a few graduate courses while he played basketball.
That's one way to get to the NBA quickly,
yes,
right?
It is.
You can either leave school early or just hustle up on those books a little bit.
Tony hits one of them, a 69% free throw shooter in the playoffs. 77-73, 120 left to go, third quarter. Looking low to McHale, stolen by Irving. Long pass to Bobby Jones, loses it off his leg.
Took his eye off the ball momentarily. Good pass by Jay off the good defensive play by Julius. I'll tell you, if Julius is guarding you down low, you don't want to hang a pass because somehow he's going to get a hand on it, either deflect it or steal it. So if you're going to go to the man he's guarding, I mean, run it in there, preferably a bounce pass, not an aerial job with any lob.
Bird hits. Larry with his second hoop, 25 points. Inbound pressure by Ford. Ford and Tony banged around a little bit, Bob, during the regular season, if my memory serves me correctly. Tony goes by him that time. Blocked by Ford from behind, tipped around. Dawkins gets it. Darrell just sticks the arm out, no call, and he gets a hoop. 10 points for Dawkins. First two of the quarter.
Good muscle job by Big D that time. Philly a little lucky. Celtics had the rebound, just kind of squeezed it away. Bobby Jones doing a good job overplaying on Bird.
Tiny puts it up, no call. Out of the pack comes the good dot across the timeline. To Tony, the trailer. Won't go. Battle underneath. And it's going to be Philadelphia basketball. Bob, earlier in the season, Billy Cunningham was starting Tony and bringing Hollins off the bench. He changed his philosophy. Why did he do that?
Well, I think it gives him more stability. Despite what we've seen from Tony, all right, I think the two guys that the Celtics can exploit are Tony and Dawkins. I know Tony's ability, but I think he's careless with the ball. I think he is one-on-one oriented, and I think in a 7-game series he's going to hurt. They got Jay isolated.
2 seconds in the quarter, and they're going to call the foul on McHale, and that will be the 5th on Kevin McHale. Well, Kevin was not going to back off whatsoever, and let's take a peek.
Yeah, Kevin reached in. He's upset with the call, but it looked like he got a piece of Jay's hand. But I'll tell you, he was right there again. And this kid is going to give Jay all he can handle before this series is over.
Jay is 7th on the all-time playoff scoring list, averaging over 25 points per game in playoff action. And he hits the first one.
I'll tell you, Max has done an extremely effective job in that last game on Jay in keeping the ball away from him. And if Max and McHale can combine defensively that effectively throughout this series, it should ensure that Jay's not going to have the big one, you know, the 40-point night.
Sideline pass from Stapler to Casper, won't go. And that'll give the ball to Philadelphia because no one ever touched it. It went out of bounds, so Philly got a chance to get a shot off. No shot. And that'll end the third quarter of play from the Boston Garden. With the score, the Boston Celtics 79, the Philadelphia 76ers 77, and we'll be back with the final 12 minutes of the first game of this Eastern Conference Championship Series right after this.
Home court becoming a disadvantage almost. The home team has only won 42% of the time in the playoffs this year so far. That's incredible, you know. And again, it adds more significance and impact to this series because I think without question, the winner of this series, as we said on top, is going to bring home a flag.
Bobby Jones, pull-up pop, in and out. Clint Richardson, a rebound, as a 6'4" guard snuck in there that time.
Yep,
foul is going to be on Robert Parrish, and that is his second.
That shouldn't happen. Shouldn't let those guards sneak in there.
Celtics shot 65% in the third quarter. As you look at Richardson underneath, he misses. Philadelphia 41% in that third quarter. On the game, Celts 54%, Philly 45. Celts have out-rebounded Philadelphia 33-28.
As far as say, Hollins gives them great defensive stability, pretty good with the ball, and he's not that great a shooter, but a good streak shooter and a lot of playoff competition. So I agree with
Ford hits from outside.
I agree with the Tony Hollins change completely.
81-78.
Max is back on Jay now.
Stripped loose inside, but a foul called. Wally Rooney calls a foul on Tiny Archibald. That'll be 3 on Tiny. And the Celtics have picked up a couple quick fouls there in the opening moments of the final quarter. Couldn't see it, but it was a strip inside on Andrew Toney. Maxwell back in there for McHale as Kevin has 5 fouls. Jay falling away with it. Kind of a knuckleball. Won't go with Bird. The long pass to Maxwell. Bird with 7 boards. Oh! Max lays it up and is fouled by Irving. And Jay has a few words for Wally Rooney.
Well, he's upset on that last jumper. He claims he was fouled by Max, but I'll tell you, Max simply forced him into a very bad shot. Very uncharacteristic for Jay. And he tried to get back into the play on the other end and foul Max.
Timeout on the floor. 11 minutes to go in the ball game. Celts lead at 81-78. We'll be back. Reception of Maxwell as McHale came in there for a spell. Max to shoot 2. Cedric would put 4 points, Bob, all those in the first quarter.
Well, they didn't really go to Max that much in the first quarter, the first half. Bird, as we pointed out, was a little more offensive oriented than he generally is. You know, he usually waits till the second half to try to take charge offensively. He looked for his outside shot more than he normally does, I think. In any event, they simply didn't get the ball to Max that often.
83-78, 5-point Celtic lead. Mo Cheeks guarded by Archibald. Flash and Toney across the baseline now, Bob, with Irving trying to set a pick down there. 8 on the shot clock. Toney on top. Down to 5. Leans into Ford. No call. Won't go, and Parrish the rebound. 11 rebounds for Robert Parrish. Bird will take it 21 feet in and out. Maxwell keeps it alive, but they're going to call a foul on Cedric Maxwell. That is his second, and that'll be the
3rd team foul on Philadelphia.
3rd team foul.
Max just comes over the top. Bird again with the quick outside shot. Takes a swipe at it over Jay's head. I guess got a little piece of him.
Bird matched up on Bobby Jones. Toney free on a baseline. Drops it to Jones. Nice play by Andrew Toney. The overplay on the rookie, and he found the open man. Surrounded
by 3 men, still found the opening, was able to get it to Jones.
10:04 to go. 4th quarter, 83-80. 3-point Celtic lead. Max thinks about that shot. Now take it low. Finds Ford in the corner. Cross court to Archibald. Spreading it out now with 8 on the shot clock. Tiny inside and tipped out. Maurice Cheeks has it. No call. Tiny looking for it.
Tony wants it, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. Goes by Ford. Drops it off to Cheeks. Wide open, won't go. Bobby Jones there, blocked by Bird, and they're going to call a foul on Robert Parrish on the other side. I'll tell you what Toney is doing right now. He's getting the penetration rather than Cheeks, and he's finding the open man.
Absolutely. He's creating opportunities. He's looking for his own, but the Celtics are adjusting and hitting him with the double team, and the last time a triple team, and he's finding that free man.
ML Carr checks into the game now, and Chris Ford will get a rest. Bobby Jones goes to the line. Jones with 13 points in the night. And drops it home.
4th team foul, by the way. Philadelphia will be shooting penalty on the next Celtic foul. And there's still 9.5 minutes to go.
Jones drops them both. So Bobby Jones and Toney with 15 points apiece, Bob, off the bench tonight for Philadelphia. 83-82, a 1-point Celtic lead. Real battle between Archibald and Cheeks. And they're going to call the foul on Cheeks out top. On Mo Cheeks, that is his 4th.
Cheeks is getting in trouble by trying to steal the ball from Tiny. He's really circling him out there, and it's opening up opportunities to the basket.
Well, that's how Tiny and Cheeks hit the deck. Tiny's not going to take any of that. Max spins inside, puts it up, won't go. Parrish battling Caldwell Jones, and it's going to be a jump ball.
Okay, the action is now getting a little bit physical. I'm sure you've noticed that. And it's more than just 2 teams getting tired. They're starting to go at each other.
Yes, they are. They know how important this first game is. Irving.
Jay out front.
Finds Cheeks and in. Now, usually Jay would take that in by himself, but they've been very unselfish in this quarter, Bob. They've done a good job at team basketball.
That shouldn't happen off the tip either at the other man's foul line. Better coverage on top of the key.
Philly on top now by 1, 84-83. Parrish going to be short, and Cheeks gets a rebound. So Philly is dictating the action right now. Cheeks drops it back to Tony in the lane and in. Andrew Tony with the hoop. He has 17, and the Celtics want a timeout as the Sixers have run off 8 straight points. We have a timeout on the floor. 8:44 to go in this ball game, and Philadelphia leads at 86-83. Hang in there. We'll be back right after this. Seven for 43.
Well, both of these teams, as we pointed out, extremely tough defensively. So either one can force the other into taking 2 or 3 bad shots with a quick rebound. It triggers the break. There's nothing that'll trigger fast break quicker than some missed shots. And there's another one by the Celtics.
And Caldwell Jones with the rebound.
And if you can control that defensive board and get it down quickly, both the teams have the talent to do that. Run the break well, so this is what we've seen Philadelphia do here.
3-point Philly lead. 8:10 left to go. 8 on the shot clock with Andrew Tony. 3-point land. Hits!
Ooh, boy, is this kid doing a job.
Andrew Tony now with 20 points. 8-3, Tiny flips it up and in and right back at you, man.
Boy, that was needed.
That was a gut check there by Archibald.
Little guy again going against the grain, as we've said. As all of you know, if you've seen Tiny play, he prefers to go to his left. So they're overplaying him on that side. The 5th foul, by the way, on
Cheeks.
Cheeks.
And that'll bring Hollins back as you see Tiny go up off the glass with it. 5 fouls now on Cheeks. First 2 points of the quarter, Bob, for Archibald.
That time he penetrates to his right. Little underhand flip after absorbing the foul.
In and out. 3 team fouls on Philly, 4 on the Celtics with less than 8 minutes to go. 89-85. Lionel Hollins in there now. Tony double team with Maxwell and Carr.
He draws the double team, but he didn't see it. And the man left Jay, and he didn't hit him.
Hollins wide open. He's going to hit that thing every darn time. Lionel Hollins with 10 points. And the double team cost the Celtics that time. Carr to Parrish and in. Got a break right there.
Yes, they did.
Could have been a travel.
Yep, they almost lost the ball. ML alertly picked it back up and found Robert outside.
91-87. 4-point Philly lead. Tony on top. In and out. Burned the rebound. He has 8.
Now, this is what I'm talking about with Tony. I know he's been great, but he's trying to take over the offense, and eventually that's going to hurt Philadelphia.
ML Carr can't get it to go. Hollins with it. To Bobby Jones and in.
That's good job by Hollins.
Nice transition there.
I'll tell you, is Jones great to feed on that fast
really
break?
is.
I mean, he's quick, he's got good hands, he flies down floor, and you know he's going every time. He's never going to give you the lazy romp.
Filling that lane, doesn't he?
Sure.
Archibald back to Parrish. Robert will take it from the foul line. In and out. Caldwell Jones a rebound.
Big rebound by Jones.
93-87. The 6-point lead, Bob. The biggest lead for the Sixers with 6:25 to go. And Kevin McHale getting ready to check back in. Whistle out top.
Boy, Tony and ML going at it.
Oh, they've gone at it before.
We're going to have some trouble here. Keep your eye on those two. I'll tell you, ML wants a piece of them. And the rookie's upset.
Let's take a look here.
There's the play again. Tony trying to take over the offense. He's been effective. Don't get me wrong.
He's a gutsy rookie, isn't he?
Don't overlook the other 4 guys. You're going to need them.
Tony with the free throw. Celtics now over the limit. And Daryl Dawkins will check in, and Bobby Jones will come out.
Big defensive rebound down the other end by Caldwell Jones that last time off the missed Robert Parrish jumper.
Celtics have scored just 8 points so far in this quarter. They're 2 of 9 from the floor. Tony hits them both. Andrew Tony with 22 points and a 95-87 8-point Philadelphia lead. Hollins now on Archibald. Parrish pushing off a little bit on Dawkins.
Trying to go inside to McHale. Jay is on him.
ML off the glass, won't go, tipped outside. Tony has it. They've got a 3-on-1 break. Tony in the middle to Jay. House call and in.
Irving getting the bounces.
His first 2 points of the quarter, and Bill Fitch wants a timeout with 5:57 left to go in this basketball game, and we'll keep it right here as Philadelphia has jumped out to a 10-point lead, and a silence has just cascaded over the Boston Garden. Folks can't believe this is happening.
Psychological.
You know how this series will go. People say, who do you think will win it, Celtics or Sixers? This first game, once again, I can't stress how pivotal it is, and I just feel whoever gets the advantage in this first game is going to have the advantage in this series.
It'll hurt the Celtics, there's no question, but they've got the kind of stability, at least they've demonstrated all season, where they can overcome something like that.
They're going to call a foul on Larry Bird. That'll be 3 on Larry. Vanek makes the call.
Well, they were trying to post Bird. They hit him with the double team even without the ball. Let's take a peek. Trying to get into the play. Boy, he's absorbing a little punishment, I'll tell you, before he retaliates finally. Again, a question of the second foul, I think, being caught.
Hollins swings it in the corner. Traveling called on Andrew Toney. Philadelphia, Bob, has outscored the Celtics 19-4 over the last 5.5 minutes. And let's point out, Larry Bird has but 4 points in the second half.
Well, the speed of Philadelphia, I think, has made the difference. They've been able to make the good, strong transition, take away the Celtic fast break. They've been effective on the other end themselves, but they have forced the Celtics to go outside. And as you said, Bird, that's his first field goal here in the last quarter. So they've been quiet from the outside, and Philadelphia has shut down their fast break.
97-88 with just over 5 minutes to go. McHale on the dock. Kevin with 5 fouls. Henderson on Tony now. Pull up. Won't go. Roby the rebound. Here comes Tiny.
A little change in momentum here. If the
Off the glass and in.
Beautiful.
With 20 points.
Big hoop there, obviously, by Tiny in terms of turning that momentum around.
97-91, a 6-point Philly lead.
I'm surprised that Billy Cunningham is letting Tony continue to do his thing.
There he did his thing.
What can you say?
Tony, quickly, Tiny wants to push it up. Caldwell Jones gets in the face. Bird, the pull-up on top, misses it. And they're going to call the foul on McHale.
No, I don't think it's a foul, is it? Yes, it is. John
Yes,
Vanek.
it is, and that'll be it for Kevin McHale. McHale is fouled out of the game.
Oh, boy, that's going to hurt, I'll tell you.
With 4:13 to go.
They need that kid coming down a stretch here if they're going to make a run. They're 8 down, and it'll send Philly. They're in penalty, so here's the play. Kevin. Well, just a lot of bodies smacking into each other, and as we've pointed out, the game has gotten extremely physical here in the second half.
Philadelphia wants a 20-second timeout right now. McHale checks out of the game with 6 points, 3 rebounds, and a couple of assists.
Brown, good break for the Celtics.
Henderson. Roby thinking about it. Cross court to Larry. Henderson open on the baseline. Tony got a piece of it. Andrew Toney with a piece of that basketball. Dawkins hits the deck, and Hollins will slow it up. He gets it to Irving. 3:10 left to go.
Celtics needed a hoop that time down the floor.
Tony has done it. He has been the factor. Now he's trying to go around Henderson. Blocked by Roby.
Good job by Roby.
Releases to Bird. 2-on-1. To Henderson. Back to Bird. Goaltending. And it's good. And he's fouled.
Nice job.
Goaltending on Caldwell Jones.
I don't know if they're going to call a foul. I think they're just going to give him the hoop.
Oh, no foul?
Yeah.
Give the hoop to Bird. No foul. Let's take a look.
There's the play. Oh, wow. Can you imagine? Oh, that's a tough call.
That was something, I'll tell you.
The game has been worked pretty well up to that call, I think.
We got a timeout on the floor. 2:53 to go. Sixers lead at 193. We'll be back right after this. Seconds left to play here at the Boston Garden in regulation time. 193, 7-point Philadelphia lead. Bobby Jones will check back in. Oh, isn't that something? You can bring a guy like that off the bench with less than 3 minutes to go.
Well, it's a psychological move. You know, as we pointed out, the guy should be starting and would be starting on any team in the league. So it's not a question of his talent level, but I'm sure Cunningham does it for psychological reasons. Whatever, it works pretty well. But you can play Bobby any place and anywhere, and he's going to be effective. All right. Pretty good ball handlers in there for Philly. They're going to spread the offense out, and they're going to run the clock down.
Steal by Bird. Here comes Tiny. He finds Larry. Inside to Henderson and in.
Good job. That's what they needed, a quick hoop.
195. The play made on the steal by Larry Bird. Cheeks with 5 fouls back in there now. The crowd comes to life.
Well, it seemed like a good move by Cunningham, but Cheeks just turned that ball over quickly. They're trying to go to Jay.
7 on the shot clock. What a double team. Hollins is open. He likes that shot. Misses it. Bobby Jones a tip. Won't go. And it'll be Celtic basketball. They're going to let him play down the stretch, it appears.
There they are. There. Good anticipation by Bird. He does it so well. 8th in the league in steals this year. Man 6'9".
Finds Henderson open. 2 minutes left to go in this ball game. Roby way out on top. Bird breaks free from Jones. 20 feet. Hits! Bird with 31. 197, a three-point ball game with 150 left to go.
Big one. Plenty of time. Celts need the good, tough D here.
Bobby Jones in the corner. Hollins. 9 on the shot clock. Lionel pull up, blocked by Henderson. Bird flips it to Maxwell. Max has got Cheeks in front of him. Drops it to Roby. Spins in the lane, puts it up. Won't go. Maxwell, the fake. And it counts.
And he's fouled.
Yes, he is. The foul on Caldwell Jones. And the Celtics have a chance to tie it with 125. Roby spins, gets the shot, Bob.
Roby creates a lot of contact. No foul call. The shot doesn't go down. Max is there. Good pump fake. Gets both big men off their feet. What he does so well. Once again, lays it in and picks up the foul. There's the Roby shot.
He kept it alive with a tip after he missed it.
Good pump fake into traffic. Gets both big men up in the air.
Maxwell can tie it with this free throw.
It is not bonus, so all he gets is 1.
He's hit both tonight. He misses it. Parrish the rebound. Bird, couple of fakes, leans in. Follows, won't go.
Oh, wow.
Foul underneath. Loose ball foul.
Boy.
And that is going to be on Larry Bird, and that is his 4th. The Sixers are in the bonus.
Well, okay, still plenty of time. There's the missed shot. Bird gets in, follows it up. It just bounces over, or takes an additional bounce on the rim and throws off Bird's timing. Bounces out. Bird jumps in. Loose ball foul. They're in ball penalty, so...
Caldwell Jones, Bob, hits a big free throw Sunday against Milwaukee. He's 70% in the playoffs, and he misses the first one.
Well, the pressure's starting to get to everyone.
One in the penalty. 1:16 left to go. Jones can give him a 2-point lead if he makes this one, and he does. 101-99, 1:15 left to go.
Let's see what the Celts go to. Looks like they're setting up the high pick for Tiny. That'll bring Bird out on the weak side, but Jones is there overplaying. They're not able to get it to him.
Henderson on top. Pulls up for the pop. In and out. Parrish badly. Maxwell. Celtics basketball. New 24 seconds with 58 to go in the game.
Philly played the Celtic movement pretty well there. They were not able to go to the people they wanted to. Henderson ended up with the shot on top.
Parrish, the shot, in and out. Maxwell, the offensive rebound, and in! Cedric Maxwell ties it at 101 with 51 to go, and he has been the factor for the Celtics in the fourth quarter since replacing McHale, who fouled out of the game.
Oh, you think he's done a job on that offensive board the last few minutes?
Philly wants a timeout, and the crowd is on their feet. 101 with 43 to go, and here it is, Cedric Maxwell underneath.
They laid off him. The Celtics, as we told you earlier, have out-rebounded. There's the Parrish jumper. Max with the good position.
Really screened out Jay that time,
yep.
didn't he?
Max spreads himself out nicely. Puts it back up without any defensive pressure at all. As we said earlier, the Celtics have I believe it's 160. Probably try to go to Jay. He's their bread and butter man. When you're in trouble, go to your muscle. And with McHale out of there, I would think they'll try to isolate him. Celtics have got to be careful not to foul. They're trying to get Tony
Steal by
low.
Henderson. Henderson with the steal on the overplay against Andrew Toney. 34 and 20 on the respective clocks.
Jay with the careless pass. He walked away from it instead of staying with it.
Foul underneath on Philadelphia as Henderson hit the deck. Foul is going to be on 24, Bobby Jones. And on Bobby Jones, his second, but more important, fans, that puts the Celtics into the bonus situation.
That's the fifth. Gerald Henderson will be going to the line. 2 for 1.
Gerald Henderson on the night with just 4 points. Hits the first one. Got the lead back. He's a 72% free throw shooter on the season.
Always nice to get that first one under your belt, let me tell you, in a situation like this.
27 seconds left to go. In and out. Dawkins a rebound, a 1-point game. Let's see the strategy here.
Well, they went to
21
Tony.
and 18.
Went to Tony instead of Jay.
Won't go. Jay tips it in.
I don't think he's going to give him the hoop.
Foul is on Bird. Loose ball foul. No hoop. Foul is on Bird, and that is his 5th.
Tony's shot rolls off the rim after bouncing up there 5 times. Well, I'll tell you, the Celtics were a little lucky there.
Yes, they were.
I think the foul he called was moving Jay out of there, but
yeah,
Jay got his hand. He had already tipped. Woo.
Caldwell Jones will check in. Gerald Dawkins will come out. 13 seconds left to go. 102, 101. Maurice Cheeks, Bobby Jones, Julius Erving, Caldwell Jones, and Lionel Hollins. Jay, 1 in the penalty. The Doctor with 23 points tonight. He hits it. Tied at 102.
Billy probably will go full court with pressure if he makes this one, or if he doesn't for that matter. With 13 seconds left, they want to delay.
Hits it. Celtics want a timeout with 13 seconds to go, and the Sixers leading 103-102. And we'll just...
It's a choice. They'll go to half court, I think. They want to save that 45
Yes, they
feet.
will.
Yeah.
Panic started to take it underneath their own hoop, and now he brings it out to center court. Bird will take it inbounds.
I would think Philadelphia would want to give them maximum pressure, especially on the ball. No, they're going to leave the ball alone. Wow, that's... Bobby Jones is going to roam.
Bird will take it inbounds.
Boy, I'm surprised at that.
All right, 20-second timeout. Bird calls a 20-second timeout. So they had the 20, and they have got 1 regulation timeout left.
That's a bad move on the part of Philadelphia. I don't,
Well, maybe he's...
You must pressure the ball. There's no way. Bird is going to find a receiver. Let's hope they do the same thing the next time around. Jones, with his quickness and his anticipation, the length of his arms, etc., can give that man maximum pressure. And when you've got good quickness behind you, overplaying the men coming to the ball, it is very difficult. But if you opt to put 5 men on 4 and leave the ball alone, it makes it a lot easier, I think, for that passer to get the ball inbound.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt that 15,320 plus people want to see the ball in the hands of Larry Bird for this last shot. I'm sure Larry Bird wants to see the ball.
And so does Bill Fitch,
Maxwell
because
takes it inbounds
Bird is
now.
not taking it out. Yep.
They get it to Parrish now. They've got time. They've got 10 seconds. It's down to 9. Tiny has got the lane. Drops it inside. Bird is blocked by Irving. A whistle and a foul on Lionel Hollins.
Oh, wow.
And Billy Cunningham just gave the choke sign to Wally Rooney. That is going to be foul number 5 on Hollins. Celtics are in the penalty.
Let's take a look at that, because I think the Celtics might have gotten a break here. Hollins with a good position. Oh, Tiny just jumps in. Although Bird is going to the foul line.
Oh, it was after the foul.
Okay.
Hollins came into Larry from behind.
Okay, so they didn't call a foul on that play.
Yes, they did. They called it on Hollins falling back in. The Bird, who drops the first one home. 4 seconds remain now.
Well, Philly will call a timeout and again take it to half court, I'm sure.
It wasn't a shooting foul, though, and Larry was shooting the basketball. He hits them both. Philly wants a timeout, their last one, as the Celtics take the lead, 104-103 with 4 seconds left. If we can rack that play back up again, Bob and I will go through it for you. There was no foul on the initial contact between Archibald and Hollins. Bird had it underneath, was going up for the gimme as we take a look.
There it is. Hollins with a half a step to the ball side. He's got the good position. Tiny goes up in the air, steps in. Now, they could have called a charge here. This is where the Celts got lucky. Trying to see where they call. They call a foul on Hollins.
Hollins falling into the back of Bird as he's going up for the shot.
And Jones was the one who pushed him. It should have been Jones.
But nonetheless, it should be 3 for 2, Bob.
Yeah, exactly. He went up for the shot. So whatever break they got here on top was nullified down below. But the result was the same. Bird still made the 2 shots. Yeah, they called it on Hollins, but it looked like Jones had his hand from the other angle. I mean, that's the small of his back.
That's
and the one who gave him the push.
Yeah. Well, this is the situation. 4 seconds remain. Celtics lead it by 1, 104-103 in the 2 Larry Bird free throws. Bird with 8 fourth-quarter points. He has 33 on the night. And Billy Cunningham is just walking down saying that was a choke.
Again, with 4 seconds.
Get the ball out of midcourt.
You've got to go to the speed. You know, you can't set up a play. It's got to be a one-on-one situation. Go to Jay or Tony. Have him bring him to the basket immediately. Obviously trying to pick up the foul.
Bobby Jones takes it inbounds.
They're going to Tony.
Tony is in the corner. 3 seconds.
Oh, and he called it.
Called Maxwell.
Well, that's what they had to do. They did, and they achieved what they were trying to get. The quick foul.
That is the 4th foul on Maxwell. Both teams in the penalty. Tony will shoot 1 in the bonus.
Well, talk about pressure on a rookie. He has conducted himself pretty well so far, Tony.
Well, he has not missed a free throw tonight. He is 6 of 6.
Quick move. Max puts the...
He hits the first one.
The knee out.
2 seconds remain. And the Celtics have 1 timeout left.
This would be a good time to take it, I suppose, to ice Tony down a little bit.
Well, then
once he has... Well, it's too late now.
Yeah. Tony with the 2nd free throw. He hits it.
Well, I'll tell you, that's pressure free throw.
Yes, it is. The Celtics will have it inbounds now as we take a look at the replay again of the foul here.
See, Gerald is a little out of position because you've got the mismatch. Maxwell, the forward, on Tony, the guard, with the good moves. Max simply extends his knee. Gets a piece of him, not a large piece of him, but I guess no more so than the Hollins foul down the other end. So you know after the call, you know, on the Philadelphia end, that the officials were going to be very alert to the slightest contact, and that's really what they got from the Celtics. It was slight contact, but enough to draw the whistle.
Andrew Toney with 26 points tonight, Bob.
Well,
Celtics have 2 seconds. 2 ticks of the clock remain. They'll have the ball in at midcourt.
Yeah, you know, it's, again, the one quick pass, and now with 4 seconds, Tony had an opportunity to put the ball on the floor. He would have had plenty of time to take it in. With 2, I don't think you can gamble on that. You can't pass it into the pack. In other words, you can't go underneath with the pass from half court. Once more, if I were Philly, I would get all over that man taking it out of bounds, especially now where they can't give up the quick long pass either to the side. I would think the pick maybe for the man coming to the corner on the same side.
You know what time it is? It's Who Wants to Be a Hero time.
Well,
that's what time it is. Terry Durod checks in the game.
Well, that's a decoy.
Yes,
They're not going to go to Terry. That's a decoy. I would think a pick for Bird.
105-104. Philly leads it with 2 seconds remaining. Maxwell will inbounds the ball.
They're letting the passer alone again, leaving him alone. No, they're gonna. Well, they got Dawkins in the game.
Well, the Celtics have set up their play, and Philly is confused about Irving is standing there. So they got a good look at what the Celtics were going to try to do. Maxwell throws it away. Bird gets in the corner, puts up a prayer. It won't go. Philadelphia wins the first game of this Eastern Conference Championship Series by the score of 105-104 as Andrew Toney hit a couple of clutch free throws with just seconds remaining. The final once again, Philadelphia 105 and the Celtics 104, and we'll be back to the Boston Garden right after this.
Orthodox set of series played where there have been so many upsets. But generally, the 2 or 3 top teams, you know, one of those 3 are going to bring home the championship. In that Western Division, we've got a couple of clubs that are going to be, you know, playing to get into the finals who are under 500 during the season. So,
well, in the Western Conference Championship Series, last night in Kansas City, the Houston Rockets with a rather easy and impressive win over the Kansas City Kings. The Kings went with Phil Ford.
I was really surprised.
Yes, I was too. Because
psychologically, that was, in my opinion, an extremely tenuous move there.
Yeah, they had done so well without him, and he is a gutsy kid. He's a competitor, but then again, they had done so well without him, and it seemed like he was just a bit out of control, trying a little bit too hard. And I'd be interested to see if Cotton Fitzsimmons goes back to his original starting lineup.
Grunfeld and Wedman did such an outstanding job for them in the back court. It must have really been a downer to have Ford come in and start last night.
Tip controlled by Philadelphia. Archibald on Cheeks, Ford on Hollins, Parrish on Dawkins, Bird on Caldwell Jones, and Maxwell with his hands full with Dr. J. Going in deep to Dawkins. Jay on top, back to Darrell, who likes that 16-footer. It won't go, and Bird the rebound.
Well, as we said last night, generally they're going to give Dawkins that outside shot. He likes to take it, especially when he's not got it, and he'll hit it occasionally, but it's better than giving him the muscle stuff inside.
Foul inside on Dr. J as he is guarding Cedric Maxwell. Celtics immediately trying to post Maxwell low. Jay got off to a slow start last night, Bob, and Billy Cunningham pulled him out of the game, and Bill Fitch told us in our pregame thought might have been one of the key moves in the game by Cunningham, getting him out of there early and setting him down for a little while.
Well, you know, Jay doesn't force. Jay's going to give you his average or better in most every big game, certainly. So I don't think there was anything to be concerned about.
Blocked by Irving. Parrish with 3 on the shot clock won't go. And Dawkins comes away with it.
Celtics have got to go inside, I think, more often and early tonight to establish that kind of a game.
Out of bounds pass intended for Caldwell Jones. Jay having a word with Darrell Gerritsen about Bird pushing off. It'll be Celtics basketball nonetheless. Last night, Caldwell Jones and Larry Bird, Bob, really physical in the early going, establishing position. And maybe that's why Larry came out a little bit for that shot last night, that Caldwell was a little too much for him inside.
Well, of course, that's the advantage Larry has. That time they get
Maxwell
it in.
misses. Parrish to follow. The shot won't go. And the foul is going to be on Darrell Dawkins.
Celtics very aggressive as expected in the early going here. Here's the Maxwell move. They finally get it in. Jay went for the steal and didn't get it. Max spun around him, and there you see Parrish with a good effort off the board. Can't quite disengage himself, however, to put his shot up.
Perry shooting 58% from the floor in the playoffs. Robert averaging 17 points, 9.4 rebounds per game in playoff action. Parrish has now hit 8 of 14 from the charity stripe. Celtics get on the board first, 1-0. Jones on top, misses it. Maxwell with a rebound. Now Max got a couple of quick boards last night and went into kind of a daze as Tiny hits from outside. I'll tell you, Max was sure aggressive the final 3 minutes of the game. They can get an effort like that tonight.
Oh, wow. Jay just wiped Tiny out. Tiny went to the floor rather heavily, although we see him do that occasionally.
Hollins misses. Caldwell Jones gets it back. Yeah, Tiny went for the leg scissor after Jay knocked him down.
Celts have to box out a little bit better tonight, especially Jones and Jay. They both came up with about 9 offensive boards between them.
Whistle underneath. 3-second violation. And it'll be Boston basketball.
Parrish giving Dawkins some pretty good pressure underneath, and Philadelphia was not able to get the ball into him. He camped in there a little bit too long.
Maxwell will take the outside shot. Won't go. Parrish crashing, but Caldwell Jones comes away with it. Third rebound for CJ. Cheeks pushed off by Tiny Archibald outside. Cheeks and Tiny had a pretty good battle going last night, Bob.
Yes, they did. Neither one of them had much success stopping the other from penetrating, frankly. And this is what they both must concentrate on, because these are the kids, as we said, that set the tempo, especially on the break. They've got to find each other early. Bird
tips it out. Yes,
rebound.
it was, as Jay was coming in on the follow.
Intelligent play by Larry Bird there. Almost got the break started a little.
Larry Bird from on top, his first hoop of the night. Bird averaging 25.4 points per game in playoff action, pulling down over 12 rebounds a contest, and the Celts on top 5-0.
Really almost measured that one too.
Cheeks from outside, won't go. Philly not hitting anything. Bird almost loses it to Maxwell in the lane, and in.
Oh, whoa!
And he's fouled. The pass from Larry Bird, and we'd like to see it again.
Fine movement from that weak side. Watch Maxwell come through the middle here. Bird lets one cutter go through. That opens up the middle for Maxwell, who follows Archibald. And beautiful execution.
Timeout on the floor, 8:55 to go first quarter. Celts lead at 7-0. We'll be back right after this. Roger Twibel and Bob Cousy back with you. Before we went to that commercial break, Caldwell Jones committed the foul. Maxwell will go to the line to try to complete the three-point play. Maxwell 84% from the charity stripe in playoff competition. And that time Bird with a fine pass inside in traffic, Bob.
Well, he let the area clear, which, you know, that sounds like it's easy to do, but it's not. In other words, he let the first cutter go through, who took the defense with him, opened up the middle, and Max alertly followed the cutter through there, and that's what really set the play up. Bird just let it develop.
8-0. Celtics on top. 3 team fouls on Philadelphia now.
Cheeks looking in. They're still trying to go inside to Dawkins. Parrish is still doing a good job on the overplay.
Hollins wide open, and he rarely misses that shot, as we mentioned. Lionel Hollins with the open shot. 8-2. First 2 points for Philadelphia tonight. Bird with the overplay on Jones, and that opened up the Hollins move. Ford in the corner, and he runs right into Hollins. No call. Max gets it back to Chris. In and out. Dawkins the rebound. Here comes Cheeks.
I think Dal Garrettson's going to let the boys play. A lot of contact there. Cheeks allowed to get too low before he was picked up. This is what I was saying a moment ago. Tiny has to find him early, and he has to find Tiny early. They can't let him penetrate easily or get
steal
low.
By Irving. Bad pass by Bird that time. Bounce pass to Cheeks. Foul on Larry Bird.
You know,
Mo Cheeks will go to the line.
On that Dr. J interception, we'll take a look at it here. Well, now here's the continuation of that play. Off to J steal. Bird tried to get it into Max. With the kind of speed and quickness that guys like Dr. J, Cheeks, and Hollins have, you've got to try to start your offense as low as possible, especially if you're going inside with the pass, to make it as short a pass as possible, because this neutralizes their speed and quickness. The longer the pass, you know, the better shot they've got, as we've just seen Jay do, at stealing the ball.
8-5. Celtics scored the first 8. Sixers have scored the last 5. Tiny scoops it in. No call. Parrish is there. Won't go, and Irving the rebound. Stripped loose by Maxwell. Dawkins on the floor. Tiny ties him up. Way to go, big guy. Whoop.
Tiny hit the floor again with pretty good impact there that last time through.
Bob, give me a quick analysis on this jump ball, will you?
Well, It's going to go left, and I think the guy in the red shirt is probably going to get the tip unless Tiny shows us something he hasn't. Did go left. That's where he had the two Philadelphia guys together.
Cheeks with it now. 7:25 to go first quarter. 8-5 Celts on top. Cheeks isolated in the corner. Going low to Dawkins on the baseline. Darrell stick that thing out there like a little pea. He'll take the turnaround and hits.
Pretty good move. Pretty good move. He wanted to go in. Parrish had the defensive position established, so he went out for the fall-away jumper.
Max works inside and hits. Maxwell takes it right in on Jay.
Again, a lot of contact there. The officials are going to let him play, so we can look for another physical game tonight.
Dawkins once again, he'll take the turnaround. Short that time, and Maxwell comes away with it. Maxwell with 3 rebounds now will bring it down himself, takes the lane, off to Parrish, who get it back on top to T, who drives the middle, blocked by Irving, could have been goaltending, wasn't. Second block by Jay. Tiny's got it again, and now they blow the whistle. Garrettson with the call underneath. Foul is going to be on Mo Cheeks.
Tiny's upset. He wanted the goaltending. I think we can take a peek at it. There's Bird faking the outside shot. He's going to find Tiny in the corner here eventually. Well, that was the foul. That wasn't the
Bird
foul.
with a shot and hits. Larry Bird was a couple of hoops now. 12-7. Irving, bad miss that time. Ball loose on the floor. Larry has it.
Got a man down.
Deep. Irving deflects it. Good job by Jay to save the ball that time.
It's a shame Max couldn't whistle that time because it took Larry a second to look down floor and spot that he had a man open. And that was enough for Jay to get back in position with his great speed.
Pretty good spiral, though, by Birdie.
Ooh, the long, hard one.
Forward from the corner. Two-pointer won't connect, and Caldwell Jones with the rebound. Caldwell pulling down almost 10 rebounds per game in these playoffs. Hollins inside with the basket. It counts, and the foul on Robert Parrish.
That's good move there by Hollins. He used Parrish really to run Chris Ford off. Watch, Chris is in pretty good position here. He used Parrish to rub Ford off, and then the big guy wasn't able to get to the shot.
Hollins, 76% free throw shooter, and he has 5 points. 5:51 to go first quarter. Irving has yet to score. 12-10. Celts up by 2. They got off to an 8-0 lead. Whistle out top, and foul's going to be on Cheeks, Bob, but he's complaining that Parrish moved the pick into him.
Well, once you set the pick, obviously you've got to hold it. You can't put out a tail or a hip or an elbow or anything else. The Celtics like to run this play, and they like to set it up low. Well, he kind of leaned a little. Cheeks has been going over the top, and that's the way you've got to play that. You can't let Tiny get behind that pick and give him a head start one way or the other. So Cheeks is playing it correctly.
Andrew Toney has checked into the game for Mo Cheeks. Celtics in the penalty situation. Archibald at the line shooting 78% in these playoffs. So Andrew Toney, who was the main man last night for the Philadelphia 76ers off the bench, is into the game for Mo Cheeks as Tiny hits them both. 14-10. Toney, the rookie.
Well, he's got to be found early, and that's what Chris Ford is doing. I would think that Chris is going to try to force him to the middle.
And Garrettson with the call. Foul going to be on Ford, his first.
That'll be the 4th team foul. For obvious reasons, I think he needs help on this kid. He's explosive, and he's got that quick first step. I think you'd want to overplay him a half a man to the outside, try to force a middle, hit him with a quick double team, and try to force a bad pass. He is a careless passer.
Tiny on Lionel Hollins now. Back to Andrew Toney. He's not afraid to put it up from the three-point line. Cunningham looking for the foul. Toney's doing it by himself. Scoops it off to Dawkins. Look out. Well, that was a Chocolate Thunder Super Deluxe. That's the first one we've seen from Darrell. in this series.
I'll tell you, he fought the double team and got by 2 men. Finally got it in there where the area was open.
Well, this is the thing he was doing last night, Bob. He was making the penetration and dishing it off with a good shot, which impressed me considerably. Bird with 3 on the shot clock, blocked by Caldwell Jones, and Larry's knocked into the camera crew. And they're going to call the foul on CJ.
Pretty good spill there by Bird after the rejection. Take a look. He takes it in the middle well, uses his body and leans into Caldwell, but the contact and the foul caused Bird to take a pretty good spill. Bobby Jones checks in for the first time. Jones and Tony were the 2 guys who did the damage off the bench. The Philadelphia bench last night outscored the Boston bench 44-16. And obviously that can't,
no, it can't.
Or should not happen tonight.
Bird shooting 96% in the playoffs from the penalty stripe, and he drops them both. Larry with 6 points. And at 16-12, Celtics on top by 4 with 4:55 to go.
Ford picking up early. Dawkins sets the pick.
Watch that. Darrell did that to Chris several times last year, I remember, in the playoffs. And there's a little shove in with the shoulder. No call. He misses it. Jay and Max going at it, and Max gets it. Celtics got an opportunity to break here. Max brings it down to Bird. The Max pass it in. Patented Larry Bird.
Beautiful delay in anticipation by Bird on that pass. Here it is. Max takes it out of the pack, finds Bird. Bird gave it a round and let Max get back in. Beautiful job.
In the meantime, an offensive foul on Andrew Toney. And that brings the crowd to life. 18-12, Celtics on top by 6.
Well, I know my prediction on that kid didn't look good last night, but let me tell you, I think he's going to blow a couple and help the Celtics before we're through here in this series. I think the series are going to go 7. I still say Boston's going to win it in 7, and I think Andrew Toney's going to give us a couple of games.
Foul inside on Dawkins here,
Dawkins
Bob.
is going to reach out. Tiny brings it into him, shows it, and Dawkins took the bait.
3 for 2. Archibald at the line.
Tony, I think Cunningham is locked in now after that game he played yesterday, which was an exceptional one. I think Billy Cunningham is going to have to use him, and I think eventually in this series that's going to become a plus for the Celtics.
Caldwell Jones checks in. Dawkins comes out. 8 fouls, Bob, already on Philadelphia in this first quarter with 4:14 to go.
I would have thought it might have been the other way around. I figured the Celtics were expected and did come out with great intensity and have dug in pretty well on the D, but they've done it without fouling.
2012, Celtics have got that 8-point lead back. They got off to an 8-0 start in this ball game. Less than 4 to go. 7 on the shot clock as Jay gets it to Hollins. Inside to Jay. Partial block by Parrish.
Good intimidation by Parrish. Forces an air ball off Jay.
Tiny, he's got the middle. He'll pull up at the foul line. Won't fall. Maxwell underneath, blocked by Irving, and here comes Andrew Toney.
Some kind of defensive play.
Toney to Hollins underneath, back to Jay. Whoa! Jam it, Jay. Woo.
Well, I'll tell you.
First hoop for Dr. J.
But it was a loud one, and he deserved it because he made an outstanding defensive play on the other end off the Maxwell offensive board. It looked like a layup until Jay got up there and just swatted it away and then finished it with that thunderous dunk on the other
7
end.
on the shot clock as Bird hits. Larry now with 8 first quarter points. And last night, Bob, he had 10 first quarter points.
But he was forcing the offense. I think it really disrupted his outside shooting, disrupted the continuity of the half-court offense for the Celtics. I think eventually it hurt them a bit.
Foul is on Chris Ford, and the 76ers now in the penalty. Steve Mix checks into the game, and out comes Julius Irving. And let's take a look at that last foul. Ford on Toney.
It is again. Chris looks like he's forcing a middle. There's Parrish waiting to help out. If you hit him with the quick double team, but it has to be immediate and it has to be intense. He is reluctant to find the free man. You'll see him fight the double team constantly, and he's a careless passer under pressure, but you've got to put that kind of pressure on him. That's what they did not do last night.
Toney drops them both. 2:56 to go first quarter, 22-16. Hollins picks up Archibald. BJ on Larry. Caldwell Jones on Parrish. Bird has got the wide open 20-footer and hits. Larry Bird, with 10 first-quarter points, has hit all 4 of his field goals, Bob.
See, that's what I mean by, as opposed to forcing it a little from the outside last night and taking it off the flow, which he normally does. Tonight, that shot was there. He took it. The last outside shot was open, and he took it. He didn't have to look for the shot.
Maxwell.
Got a man up front.
He's got Max deep. Incomplete. And Maxwell runs up the tunnel to the locker room.
Go on back, Max. It's not halftime. God bless it.
He's just going for a Coke. Timeout on the floor. 2:20 to go first quarter. Celtics lead at 24-16, and we'll be back right after this.
So
trickling down a bamboo shoe.
No, no. Absolutely not. Nothing Dowell does on a basketball floor.
Tony lifted his foot up there. No call. Bird knocks it out, and it'll be Philadelphia basketball.
Both teams continue to do a good job funding the inside men. They've gotten occasional baskets in low, but
Tony with a miss.
Consistency. Man out front again.
Got Parrish and Ford, but Tiny will take it up, set things up offensively with 1:58 to go, first quarter. Bird has got the lane, has to find somebody. He gets it off the glass to Parrish. Looked like a pinball machine that time.
Somebody grabbed it. It happened so quickly that it caught most of the players by surprise, except Big Rabbit was there with the quick hands.
BJ with the left hand. Nice move that time. The pass from Tony. Jeez, he changed hands quickly with the ball, didn't he?
Jones is tough. He does everything well on the basketball floor.
26-18, 1:20 to go in the quarter. Tiny to Parrish, sandwiched there by Hollins. T takes the lane off the glass, won't go. Caldwell Jones with his 5th rebound. Hollins from Tony, won't go. Missed the gimme that time. 6 rebounds for Bird. A prayer almost went by Archibald to foul on Andrew Tony.
That's good thinking by Tiny. He felt the contact, but he heard the whistle. He wasn't ready to shoot, but watch him squeeze this one out in a hurry. He's going to fake right, go left. He prefers to go left. He gets the contact, shuffles it off, which will hopefully produce 3 for 2.
Rick Roby checks in, and Robert Parrish will come out, and Clint Richardson comes into the game for the 76ers. And Hollins will check out. Archibald drops the first one in. Celtics are 8 of 9 from the free throw line, make it 9 of 10 now.
Well, if they'd been able to transfer that to last night's shooting stats on the line, why, I think they'd have had themselves a 1-0 lead instead of being down 1.
Well, they shot well in the first half from the free throw line. The second half is what did them in. 28-18, 10-point lead, biggest lead. Lob pass inside off the glass. Well, that's offense by accident, as you like to say it, Bob.
Well, not only that, but Bobby Jones saved a bad pass early because it was well above its target, but he went and chased it down.
Oh, what a pick by Roby. Tiny hits. Roby likes setting picks, doesn't he?
That's the shot Tiny's got to hit to really make him effective. We're all well aware of his penetrating ability, but if he stands out there 17, 18 feet and pops a few of those in, he becomes impossible to stop.
Tony driving the lane, whistle outside. It's going to be on Chris Ford. That's going to be 3 on Chris.
Well, you've got to feel for Chris a little bit. You know, he's working hard on him. He's moving his feet. The kid has outstanding ability, good change of pace. He's explosive when he takes that first step, finally takes it to the basket. So you really, when they isolate him the way they did on top, there isn't a great deal that you can do other than foul him.
He hit 9 of 10 free throws last night, Bob.
Yeah, and obviously the 2 big ones at the end there,
and he's hit 4 tonight. Full court pressure, 19 seconds to go.
A lot of poise for a rookie.
Bird to Maxwell. 14 on the clock in the first quarter.
Oh,
Maxwell throws it away. 3rd turnover for the Celtics.
Boy,
Philadelphia will have it with 10 seconds to go.
They handled a 2-1-2 full court zone pressure that Philly had laid on him easily and got it down floor, found the open man, but Max let the sky ball go.
Roby the rebound, knocked loose, and the buzzer to end the first quarter of play. With the score, the Celtics 30 and the 76ers 22. We'll be back to the Boston Garden right after this.
This is the quarter that's going to be most indicative because Philadelphia, I'm sure, realized that Boston had 24 hours to get good and upset over that loss last night. Billy Cunningham told them, hey, they're going to come out with fire in their eyes. Just withstand the initial onslaught. Hang in there. Don't fall too far behind. And we'll go to work the last 3 quarters. So if the Celtics can duplicate the performance here in the second quarter, I think they'll have gone a long way towards taking this one home.
Carr in there now. Gets it low to Maxwell. Mix on him. Max having a hard time handling it. 2 on the shot clock. 3-point land. Won't go. And Clint Richardson the rebound. Roby and Dawkins going at it. And Garrettson says, cool it, guys.
Richardson also a pretty good penetrator. So Tiny got to be careful.
ML Carr on Andrew Toney with Archibald on Richardson. Bird on Bobby Jones. He'll take the shot and hits it. BJ with 6 points.
Jones so seldom shoots, really, that he catches you by surprise every time he puts it up there. And his shot selection, as we pointed out, is excellent.
Whistle underneath. Foul's going to be on Steve Mix.
A lot of potential trouble spots out here at the moment in terms of individual matchups. We might keep an eye on Mix, who's a very physical player, and Max, trying to keep him from getting the inside position. Roby, Dawkins, and I'll tell you, watch ML and Toney go at it a little bit.
Yeah, they have been known to mix it up just a bit. Bird with the running right-hander and in.
Whoa.
Larry Bird.
Not too bad a move there.
No, it's fairly nice. Not too difficult a shot, huh, Bob? Going to your left and throwing it back with your right. Toney inside it hits. Not a bad effort right there by Andrew Toney.
That was a good move. Kind of leaned in, and ML Carr should give Toney all he can handle, but he got the
Carr's
hot
taking
hand
it in the lane,
night.
puts it up. Toney the rebound. Philly now with a 3-on-2. Toney to Richardson, broken up by Maxwell. They hit the deck. Loose ball still rolling around, and ML gets it. Long pass to Larry, to Tiny, and in. High off the glass by Tiny Archibald.
Good timing again on that pass by Larry Bird to Tiny. He knew Jones was in hot pursuit, and as you saw, Tiny just barely got it away before Bobby Jones got in there.
4 assists for Larry Bird so far, and both Tiny and LB with 12 points apiece.
And all pretty spectacular passes, too.
6 on the shot clock. Now it's down to 3. Toney, 2-pointer, won't go. Bobby Jones a rebound. Say it. Tony's a rookie like Kevin McHale, not afraid to put it up. And they both want the basketball.
But again, you know, this is what can hurt you.
Mix inside and hits.
Good job there. Good pass by Dawkins. Let him away from the pressure and into the basket. Mix used his body effectively against Maxwell.
Bird to Maxwell underneath. Won't go. Mix the rebound. Nice pass by Larry Bird.
Max rushed it just a bit.
34-28. Richardson baseline to Bobby Jones, wide open from 12, in and out. Mix a good little push off that time. Richardson underneath, blocked by Bird. Mix, no call. Maxwell gets it. Long pass to Bird. Foul's going to be on Andrew Toney.
I tell you, it's getting physical under the boards. Roby, there's a technical foul being called on Mix, I guess. McHale coming into the game, which is a good substitution. As the end of the Bird play, I tell you, he could have got hurt on that.
Yes.
He went up high for the pass and kind of got blindsided. Didn't have a chance to get his balance. Tiny will be shooting the technical. I believe it was on Mix.
That foul was on Toney.
Awfully physical.
3 fouls on Andrew Toney now. Couple team fouls on Philadelphia.
Roby's going to have to start throwing his weight around on that defensive board a bit because Mix and Dawkins are going to give you all the muscle you can handle.
Good pick there. Tiny misses the shot, tipped outside. Bobby Jones comes up with it. To Richardson, deflected by McHale. Toney puts it up, and it drops in. Quick on the trigger.
Yeah.
He's one of the leading scorers in the nation last year. 35-30, Celts on top.
We said that object the drill last night was to not let any 76er really go wild. Keep them to their average. They did this with Jay. Toney averaged about 15 during the year, and he got 26. So.
Here comes Toney, and in. Andrew Toney.
Good job there.
He has 6 second quarter points, and it's 35-32.
The Celtics want a timeout. Timeout with 8:12 to go. First half. Celtics lead at 35-32. We'll be back to the Boston Garden right after this. Maurice Cheeks checks back in, and Tony comes out with 3 fouls. And just in the nick of time, the youngster was warming it up.
Defense on the part of both teams. Half-court trap by Philadelphia, and Kevin is a little bit tentative, McHale, on finding that free man.
Zone defense call.
Yeah, they're calling the zone. They were in it right along.
Mix,
they were trapping at half court. Yeah, the 3 men in back were playing zone, as we all know by now. You cannot guard an area of the floor. You can put 5 people defensively on 1 man with the ball, but they must be guarding someone. If you're guarding an area of the floor, which is evidently what the call was on Dawkins, it's a violation, and a warning is no longer needed. They used to be they'd have to warn the team and call it the second time around.
McHale low, the turnaround. He had some contact when he gets to the fall.
Nice play.
Kevin's he's very vocal, and he's very demonstrative when he feels that he's been wronged. Whistle underneath, call. Foul's going to be on McHale. I saw Kevin coming in the arena tonight. He says, "Did it look like I was fouling on those replays last night?" I said, "Kevin, you never foul. It's just a figment of the officials' imagination."
That kid's really got it together, doesn't he?
Jones inside,
boy,
great
nice
move.
play. Good movement again without the ball. So important, active offensive man. Not so much what you do with the ball, but what you do without it. And Jones is perpetual motion out there. That's why he's so difficult to guard.
38-34, Bird from way outside and hits. Larry Bird with 14 points, and it's 40-34. He has hit 6 of 7 tonight from the floor. Offensive foul called by Lee Jones. It's going to be on Daryl Dawkins, and that is 3 on Dawkins, Bob.
Well, that'll help the cause a little bit, because Dawkins sets a mighty pick out there. That time he set it and moved 2 men out of the play. They call the foul, but as I said last night, I think this kid Caldwell Jones gives them a little more effective lineup when Bobby Jones and Dr. J are in there with Hollins and Cheeks. I think that's their strongest team. So,
well, Dawkins comes out, and a technical on Billy Cunningham as he was jarring with Darryl Gerritsen that whole time, disputing the call on the foul with Daryl Dawkins. And Darryl says, "I'm going to give you one more chance, Billy." And Billy got it, and that is 3 technicals so far tonight on the 76ers, and Tiny will go to the line. He has been absolutely perfect so far. Archibald 8 of 8 from the charity stripe. Make it 9 of 9. And Tiny tonight with 15 points. So it is now Cheeks, Richardson, Irving, Caldwell Jones, and Mix. Parrish is in for Roby, Archibald, Carr, Bird, and McHale. 41-34.
Sure, the boys are giving it a little more concentration in that line tonight after the 60% last night, which, as we said, literally cost them the game.
Bird, the baseline. Off the glass. What a shot right there by Larry Bird.
Oh, is that tough? Is that a tough
points?
Move? Very difficult move there. A little off balance, just held it over his head and gave it the wrist job.
Cheeks to Richardson. Great penetration that time by Cheeks in the baseline.
That's nice play.
43-36, 6.5 to go. First half. Parrish on top. They'd like to isolate McHale down low against Mix. Tiny moving off the pick. Off the rim, Cheeks has it. Mo will push it up, but he'll wait. Yeah.
Got to stop that ball as quickly as you can. Delay the penetration. Let the defense get back.
Mix underneath. Nice play there. The pass from Dr. J. Mix with 4 points.
Every time they open up a little daylight, they relax on defense, and Philadelphia roars back. They've got that kind of ability and explosive offensive play.
McHale, his second hoop.
That's what they'd like to get, as you said a moment ago. McHale low on Mix probably will turn over a foul or a pretty good shot for Kevin.
Philadelphia 76ers would like a timeout with 5:47 to go first half. Celtics lead at 45-38. We'll be back to the Boston Garden right after this. during the playoffs.
Sheridan hasn't seen a great deal of playing time this year, backing up Darrell. He's a junior eligible third round choice. Pretty good leap and rebound out of the University of Detroit.
Isolate Jay on McHale, puts it in, and it counts.
I'll tell you, psychologically, that's a big hoop for Jay to get. And I wouldn't be surprised if he asked for that opportunity, because as we pointed out, McHale did a pretty good job defensively on Jay last night.
Only the second hoop for Jay.
And I think Jay wanted to take it to him early and see what he could accomplish.
75% free throw shooter in the playoff. And Bob, the Celtics starters have scored 41 points. Philadelphia starters but 16 so far in this game. Jay with 5 points now. Tiny Archibald getting a rest. Carr taking it inside. Off the glass and in by ML Carr.
Pretty good move there, because Cheeks had the good position. Still was able to knock it down.
Jay scoops it to Curtin. Steal by Carr. He's got Henderson. 2-on-1 to Gerald. Won't go. McHale to follow it in.
Beautiful. Gerald got a little careless with that layup, but McHale saved him. Nice job. Good pursuit. Not many big men are going to bust 94 feet when the guard has got to step on the field, and they figure it's a wasted cause.
Jay, the fall away, won't go. Bird tips it outside. Loose ball foul is going to be on Caldwell Jones. And on CJ, that is 3. So now you've got Dawkins with 3, Caldwell Jones with 3, and Andrew Toney with 3 fouls with 4:42 to go in the first half.
3 technicals called. So here it is. Carr brings it down, just flicks it over. Watch Gerald. Actually, the defensive man got in there and got a hand on it too. He got it up high, which is normally where you want it, but you also want to protect it a bit.
Bob, now they bring in Bobby Jones and they take out Caldwell, so they put Curtin in the middle at center. He played a little center in the series against Milwaukee and didn't do too bad a job. Parrish slams it home, and for Robert Parrish, only his second hoop of the night, just 5 points.
Well, little luck involved there. The ball finally got through the massive arms, and Robert Parrish was able to come up with it.
Blocked from behind, but they're going to call the foul on ML Carr. Foul will be on ML.
Aggressive play by ML there from behind. Here's Cheeks bringing it down. Again, nice change of direction, but Henderson, with a good defensive position, could have drawn a foul there. ML comes over the top.
On the season, Curtin just a 51% free throw shooter.
Yeah, he's basically.
And there you see why.
A shot block on a rebounder.
That's about the way I put him up, Coach.
Old stone fingers, huh? Well, that's a little better. He got it in the air, but the result is the same. He got it over the rim that second time around.
8 rebounds for Bird. 51-41, 10-point lead, biggest lead tonight. Hey, Larry Bird.
Did he lay a fake on Jay that time?
18 points for the Birdman. He is 8 of 9 from the field.
Bird is doing it.
Biggest lead of the night.
He did it pretty well last night, too.
Yes, he did. 10 on the shot clock. Cheeks isolating on Henderson. Parrish the rebound. Releases to Carr. Celtics have a 5-on-2. ML and in.
What a move. What a move by ML Carr.
Celtics have run off 10 straight points, and they take a 55-41 lead. And they want a 20-second timeout. And here we go with ML Carr.
Let's take a peek. He's going to fake it in the middle. You saw him look Cheeks off, decide to take it in strong himself. Great move to the basket.
Philadelphia has taken a 20-second timeout, and the Celtics have their biggest lead of the night, 55-41. 14 points on top with 3:26 to go, and they have run off 10 straight here, Bob. And I'll tell you what, without Caldwell or without Darrell in there, Six is hurting just a little bit with Curtin in the middle.
Hollins was looking for the pass back to the middle. This is classic. You always want the ball in the middle on a fast break. In this case, it helped open up the lane for ML, because by looking at Bird, Hollins cheated a little bit towards Bird, anticipating the pass, and then ML just turned it on, and the lane was open at that point. Good job.
Lionel Hollins back in there for Philadelphia. Henderson and Cheeks matching up.
Celtic defense has picked up. Good overplay. They want to give Puritan as much pressure as possible to try
Jay,
to
the
force
miss.
turnover. Man out front.
Carr doesn't see him. He'll hold it up. Just over 3 minutes to go, first half. Jay is 2 of 7 from the floor tonight. Henderson had Bird underneath but didn't see him. Now he goes to Parrish. Should be able to work on Cureton. 8 on the shot clock.
They want to go low.
ML will take it from 20. In and out. Parrish right there and in. That is a monumental mismatch right now.
Absolutely. I'm surprised that Cunningham is gambling this long, despite the foul situation, because this game, if the Celtics concentrate on Parrish in the next 2 minutes, can get it completely away from them in that period of time.
Carr the rebound off the Cureton miss. Celtics lead it by 16. Bird wants it.
Oh, wow!
Won't go. Parrish there.
Lee Jones, the outside
They're going to call
official.
goaltending. Credit the basket to Larry Bird.
Take a peek. Fine pass by Henderson. Really stretches Bird about as high as he can go. Bird knows that he doesn't have time to come down with the ball. Well,
Cureton.
was it Cureton? Looked like it could have been McHale. In any event, it's a hoop for Boston.
We'll keep it right here. 59-41. Celtics have really run off a streak right now with 2:23 to go. We'll get the official scoring on it if it was credited to Bird, but Cureton with the interference. McHale was following it in, Bob.
Yes, he was. On a replay, it appeared that McHale was up there with Cureton. Here it is. Yeah, it was Cureton with the right hand. Okay. Good break by the Celts. Again, the taking advantage of the foul situation that Philadelphia finds itself in. 3 men with 3. Caldwell, Jones, and Darryl Dawkins forcing Cunningham to get him out of there. And that complemented by the Celtic defense. A couple of good, strong, fast break baskets, and going into Parrish has opened us a little daylight here.
Well, they've run off 14 straight points, Bob. Credit the basket to Larry Bird. He now has 20 points on the night.
What did he have
has
last
hit
night?
9 of 10.
21.
21 at halftime last night. 35 on the night. Bird is 9 of 10 from the floor. He has 8 rebounds and 4 assists. And he is putting on one of his patented displays of basketball prowess. Just doing it all. And Caldwell Jones will check back into the game now. And
well, you know, none too soon, I would say.
Maybe a monumental mismatch was an understatement.
Those 3 minutes might have put the game completely out of Philadelphia's reach.
They call him Earl the Twirl Cureton. I guess it would have been Earl the Whirl for as many times as he was turned around in circles out there tonight. Foul over on the side on Henderson.
Again, you can see the right hand overplay. He's trying to force Tony middle. Tony's a little stubborn. He wants to continue.
Blocked by Parrish. McHale keeps it alive, and Bird has it. Finds Henderson, the lead pass. Tip back, and Bobby Jones comes up with it.
Almost a great play by Henderson.
We have got some exciting action right now. 2 minutes to go in the first half. Tony in the lane, puts up the shot and hits. Well, he can get a shot off, Bob. He sticks that thing back behind his head. Long pass to Parrish and in.
Beautiful. That's the first breakaway hoop they've gotten. Parrish, as we said, has been doing this to opposing centers all season long. That's the first time Philadelphia's been making the transition extremely well.
Tony the miss, Bird the rebound. 61-43. Bird with 10 boards on the night. Cross court to Carr. They want McHale posted up on Mix. 10 on the shot clock. Bobby Jones going for the steal. 7 on the shot clock. Carr loses the ball. Mix to Hollins, and it'll be an easy 2.
ML's a little tired. He's a little careless with that ball there. 1:04 left.
61-45. Bill Fitch calls out play number 4 for the Celtics. I guess that's Henderson making a whirling dervish move in the middle, huh?
I think that was improvisation time.
Tony to Hollins, who holds up, takes the shot now and hits. Lionel Hollins with a hoop, and he has 9 points. 63-47, 27 seconds to go. Second quarter. Bird, the scooper, he hits and he's fouled. Foul is on Steve Mix, the basket to Larry Bird. He has 22 points.
Is Bird putting on a show tonight? Take a look. A long extension. Good fake, gets Jones up in the air. Mix moves in to help. He gives it a scoop job with that long reach of his, enables him to maintain control of that ball on what amounts to an extremely difficult shot.
Question is, did he want a sugar cone with that? Big scoop, huh? Hits a free throw. First free throw of the quarter for Larry. He went to the line twice in the first period. He now has 23 points, and it's 66-47. Sixers will go for the final shot with 11 seconds on the clock.
There's not much point in going for the final shot when you're 19 points down, I got to tell you.
Mix gets it with 2 on the clock, misses it, and that'll end the first half of play for the Boston Garden.
And a good half it was for the Celtics, certainly, as the score would indicate. But a good tight half, not many balls thrown away, complete domination of the board, good intense defense, and that earned them a 19-point lead at halftime.
The Celtics lead the 76ers 66-47, and we'll be back with our halftime right after this.